Oh no.
But because that's all the little trinkets and doodads they give us. They got us some weird soap, like they put in everybody's mailbox. They put some soap, which you can keep your soap. I don't want soap.
Yeah, stick your soap. You trying to say I'm not clean? What's the matter with you?
No, they're just trying to be nice, and a lot of people were like, "Ooh, fancy soap, nice." I'm like, couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But whatever. Not everybody likes the same kind of appreciation gifts. So.
No, they don't. Soap. What's soap for? I'm not clean. I'm clean. Exactly.
Yes. So that's why I'm eating these chocolate balls.
Eat your chocolate balls. That's what I say. Eat your big chocolate balls.
Yes. How about you? How's your week been?
All right. Nearly on my holidays again, so can't complain too much.
Every other week.
I know. Isn't it just? Nothing wrong with that.
No, it must be nice.
Yeah. Going away again.
Now
week on Monday, going to Wales.
Uh-huh.
To Wales, we're going to a place called, I don't know, it's some weird name.
Go Packers.
I can't even pronounce it. It's near Port Marion. So, there you go. Well, other than that, not a clue. Well, it's meant to be nice weather. It's going to be hot. Look, I've got my holiday haircut. Millie's cut my hair tonight. Look, can you see?
It looks very nice.
It does. She's done a good job. It's shorter.
You tight ass.
Hey,
you tight ass.
2 years in, man. I haven't spent a penny on a haircut. 2 years.
I hope she moves out soon.
Well, she's never moving out. She's like a tick. She's burrowed in. She ain't moving nowhere.
Well, but the first thing that'll come to your head, he's not. Oh, I'm gonna miss you. It's like, but what about my haircuts?
I know. Yeah, that's what it'll be. You better come back once a month to sort it out. What's the matter with you? Gotta be did.
Hardly Dan is in the chat. Hello, Hardly Dan.
Yeah, I see that Dan is
yeah, I'm ready to go now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
No, I'm ready.
The audience is getting restless.
Yeah, are you ready?
Want Chili Willy. We want Chili
Remember
Willy.
what worst sound effect was?
How much you love that sound clip.
Show, bitch.
Know how much you love it. You're welcome. Just keep playing it.
No one gives
to
a
the
shit.
veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, other fellas will tell you about it. So the game we play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu's story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
It's hard for me to admit when I made a mistake, so I won't.
It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Shut the f*** up, kid!
Yeah, boy.
You can stick your beef up your ass.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Yesterday was the birthday of legendary Dutch flautist Frans Blutheim.
Hello and welcome to episode 644 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 644. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu, and I did quite well there, I've got to say.
And I'm Chinny.
We are not military veterans, people. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
That's right. We would run and cower from war, so don't get us twisted with that. And we stream live on the YouTubes and the Twitches 9 p.m. every Sunday.
It is true.
Yeah.
It's a party
Most
in
Sundays.
here.
I mean, there have been a few Sundays where we didn't do it at 9 p.m., but
It's not very often, though.
That's 3 p.m. Central Time in the U.S., people.
But we've never missed a week, though.
No, we've been doing that for 14 years,
14 years we've been doing
That's
this
right,
show.
40 years. 40.
14 years. Millie was 6 years old when we started doing this podcast.
And now
she's 20.
My dog was a fetus when we started doing this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Hasn't time flown?
Yep.
Where has it gone? Where's time gone, people?
I don't know.
In the toilet?
In the toilet. It's gone down the pan, man.
Yeah.
That rhymed and stuff. That was
See you later there.
poetry.
Time.
I know you can stick
so here's the story time for this week. Everybody ready? Official story
My favorite time.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
story time.
In my creative writing 2 classes, we're reading Stephen King's memoir On Writing. And there's a part where he describes a babysitter that he had as a child. And this babysitter used to sit on top of him and fart.
Wow.
And
nice.
every time he mentions it in the story, he says, pow. And so in order to give the students a good multi-sensory experience, we get to the part in the book where he says, pow. I play the sound clip from Lethal Business.
Yeah, I'm late for the beat.
And the second day we were reading, it said pow, and one of the students goes, hey, you didn't play the sound. And I was like, oh, excuse me, let me pull it up.
Yeah, I'm late for the beat.
So I got to say thank you to Chinny for introducing me to that sound effect, and the students like it.
And thank you to Stephen King for writing a book for you to do with your class.
And thanks to
the most
Lethal Bizzle for writing that song.
Bizzle, yeah, exactly. And Fester. Stephen King's On Writing is the most recommended book from publishers and editors and professionals who answer the question, what should I read if I want to get better at writing? And
did he write a chapter on how the fuck do I do an ending to a book by Stephen King? Because for fuck's sake, man, I've read a lot of his books and the endings, they leave a lot to be desired. Gotta say.
Well, in many cases they do. That's true. I don't think he would argue with that. He just does the best he can.
I mean, have you read Under the Dome, for instance?
I have not.
Right. Okay. Do you know?
I haven't. But I've watched the Simpsons movie, so I sort of get the idea.
You know the premise of Under the Dome. So basically, this invisible
the
dome.
Movie, right?
Yeah. Except that in the book Under the Dome, right? Guess what causes it? Guess what's the cause?
Someone putting a pig crap silo into the lake?
Nope.
Aliens.
Nope. Pretty sure that's it.
You're on the right track, Sir Chinny. You're kind of on the right tracks. It's just the most stupid ending ever, right? So the ending of the book is, right, it turns out to be some alien children that have a glass like Petri dish over the town as some sort of weird kiddie experiment or something.
Well, what would you do as the ending to that story?
I don't know, but that makes no sense. It's just most
It makes sense. It's just disappointing. I mean, that's the thing. Look, he's written like 700 books. He can only have interesting ideas for half of those at least.
Well, his ideas are always good. He just can't end the books in a good way.
You can only have satisfying ways to end them. Cell has a terrible resolution in terms of like what's going on. And I sympathize with him. Like at a certain point, it's like, how do you explain it? I don't know.
I don't know. The worst book I ever read by him was the Tommyknockers. Have you read the Tommyknockers?
Well, no, I actually haven't read that, but I have a lot of respect for it because he said that was a big metaphor for cocaine.
No, maybe it was, but it was a big metaphor for boring.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. The story of him writing it was not boring at all.
Is it in The Simpsons where he falls over and writes a book in the fall?
Yeah.
Is that Simpsons?
Maybe.
Like, I'm sure he falls over and like he's in midair. He writes a book and finishes it.
Yeah, there's one where there's a bunch of writers. They go to a writing festival, and like for some reason, when I recorded that episode, I started only when Amy Tan is chewing Lisa out about how she misinterpreted the Joy Luck Club with a spot-on interpretation. She's like, "No, you couldn't have been further from the truth. Like, please, you're embarrassing both of us. Please just sit down." So there's things that happen at the beginning of that episode. When I recorded it, for whatever reason, I started recording, that way through it. So there's stuff at the beginning of that episode that I couldn't tell you. But I want to say this about The Simpsons. I've been putting out a random poll every day on Twitter. I don't know if y'all noticed. It's a lot of fun. People are checking it out.
Yeah,
Duke's
random
Gath
poll.
on Twitter. My random poll yesterday was comic book guy or Professor Frink.
I could leave them both.
What? Leave them both? What are you talking about? They're both awesome characters. How dare you? That's the wrong takeaway.
I think comic book guy. I think comic book guys. Yeah, I'd vote for comic book guy.
No, everybody voted comic book guy. It's so wrong. Wait, that was Neptune or Mercury. Not many people voted in the Neptune Mercury one. Here we go. Comic book guy got 73% of the votes. Professor Frink only got 27. That's madness. What is wrong with y'all? Comic book guy is okay, but Professor Frink has more satisfying jokes.
Well, I don't know if he does.
Sure, the Freaky Act 7 looks impressive. Don't touch it. But I predict that in 20 years, computers will be 3 times larger, 10,000 times more powerful, and so expensive that only the 3 richest kings of Europe will own them.
I think Comic Book Guy has a tragedy behind him. Well, Frink does as well. But
I don't remember Trink's backstory, but.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's just a tragic life he has, isn't he? Because he's so. I suppose not. Well, he's always working on something he loves, isn't he? I suppose.
Yeah. Elementary chaos theory shows us that all robots will eventually run amok and turn against their masters in an orgy of chaos and blood.
He's
and
sort
hurting,
of happy.
Kicking,
I think Frink's sort of happy, really, where Comic Book Guy's not.
Oh, I've wasted my life.
Which is more fun, I think. I think that's the true. That's the true comedy core.
Worst story time ever.
Yeah, it was pretty shit, I've got to say. It's terrible.
Well, you tell us a story then.
Tell you what, that could have been a Stephen
buying
King
something
book.
that goes on for 20 minutes.
Could have been a Stephen King book. I've got a story because this week is board game night again, people. So stand by your beds.
I had to ask. Chinny,
you had to
next
ask.
time I try to tell him to tell us a story, just smack me in the face.
So
come through the internet and just smack me.
Gloomhaven is out again on Friday coming. So this Friday coming, the Gloomhaven is out. But
that's not a story. That's a future event.
You haven't
a
let me
story
get
is when
to
you
the
describe
story.
something
I'm
that happened
getting
in the
to
past.
story. Get into the story. So
go ahead.
I've caved in. I've caved in and bought a box organizer for this game.
This is part 2 of last week's discussion about the attempt to find something to put all the pieces from this overly complicated
ridiculous
board game.
In. So so I have bought one, and I looked
and there's
out really.
Sorry, listeners, if you weren't here last week, there's dozens of these available, like dozens and dozens.
They're normally about 36 quid.
36 just for a box to hold all the stuff. People.
They're made out of like poly cardboard, I guess. I don't even know what you call it.
They're made out of cardboard.
And
$36 for a cardboard box.
You've got to fix it. You've got to fix it together yourself. It comes flat pack.
Well, if only some guy named Jim could help out with that.
And you've got to glue it all together. But here's the thing. So there's this dude on eBay who he just buys and sells stuff, I'm guessing, and it's sold as seen. So he doesn't even open the packages.
Isn't that most of eBay?
No, this dude gets like something and then he's like, I haven't opened the package. If it's incomplete, tough shit. You've just got to suck it up because that's what I do.
Yeah, a lot of people on eBay, it's like as is.
No, but
this bag was in a house with smokers. You take it or leave it.
Some people get the stuff out and they go, this is what's in the box. This guy doesn't even look in the box, right? He just he gets it and then he sells it, right?
Are you feeling adventurous? Buy from me.
Yeah, it's kind of what's in the box. It's a bit of it's meant to be this, but is it this? But anyway, as a result, it was only 22 quid, so it was a bit of a bargain, really.
Oh, you went for the bargain. Let me guess, it's a piece of shit.
No, it was perfect. Everything was there.
Yes.
Were there. It
Stu was able to cheap out, but also get a good product.
Yeah, I got a 14 quid discount, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good discount. And I'll be honest, there was nothing anywhere near
I don't
that.
like
pay
this.
a lot of money for this crappy box for your stupid game.
I don't like this, Stu. I don't like it.
What don't you like?
You.
Why?
Just you doing this.
Why?
He's not doing that. He's busy finding a box to put all that stuff in. Haven't you been listening?
I'm
he cannot play the game.
Yeah, I'm not playing
He got another week to play the game.
Don't think I like it.
Well, he was curious about your thoughts.
Yeah, what do you like?
I want to keep out your business, Stu. Your business is your business, when
business is my business.
When you went geocaching or all your other hobbies, but this one I might have to step in.
Why?
Don't forget roller skating. He went nuts for roller skating for like 2 years.
That's all fine. I might have to step in.
I did that for years and years. What are you talking about?
I might have to
What's wrong with this hobby? I like hobbies.
I just
hobbies for me.
I think it's going to interfere with the Veteran Gamers podcast.
How? How is it?
Product.
Imagine if you came on every week, Stu, and you didn't have any games to talk about. How boring would that be?
I'm only playing this one night.
I'll tell you what would be more boring, Duke.
Stu, I'm making a joke about Chinny. For God's sake,
board games. That would be more boring.
Hey, it's games. It's games.
It's a game.
And there's people listening going, hey, Chinny, I like board games. Well, no one likes you.
Yeah, exactly.
No one likes you. Okay.
What do you want us to talk about snooker?
Yeah. Well, snooker's that's a true sport.
Yeah,
that's a real
snooker.
sport.
Yeah. That's a,
It's a
I don't know,
sport, is it?
table game. That's a table game.
The problem's
You played on a table.
You haven't even. Have you even started this game?
Yeah, we've done
Yeah,
the
you played
first
it for like
scenario.
2 hours the other day.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I thought you
but
was just
no,
setting it
come
up
on.
all night.
I think you just switched
Well,
off
that was
when
an
we mentioned
hour.
it.
And then they played it for 20 minutes, and then they spent an hour
No,
putting it away.
no, we spent an
It
hour.
wasn't 2 hours and 20
No,
minutes.
We put it. It took an hour to set up, and then we played it for 2 hours.
Yeah,
And
Chinny.
it took about 30 minutes to, so I don't know, chuck it all back in the box. But that was the problem, man. Everything's fucking in. We just shoved it all in, and I don't even look in the box.
Holy crap.
So
Sorry, go ahead. I'm not
So I'm
trying to
gonna
interrupt.
get this, you know, organizer set up, and then I'm gonna have to spend.
See, now
probably
when he
an
has the
hour.
organizer, Chinny, then it'll just be boom, boom,
You know
boom. He'll
what's-
get
you
it
know
set
what's
up in
funny?
2
Exactly.
minutes.
Just lift the trays out,
Yeah,
put them on the
just
table.
whoop,
Fucking
there
done.
you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know what's
Ow.
funny?
And did you
actually?
hear how much he saved on this?
So
I don't think you understand how much money
No,
he
I don't
saved.
think you
Hold on,
understand,
hold
Chinny.
on.
You better tell that part of the
Ow.
story again, Stu.
Everybody,
Yeah.
calm down, right?
I will
was
not. I
actually-
just
I
looked
keep
up the
expecting-
definition of sport so we could see if snooker falls into this category. And here's what it says. Noun, 1, a source of diversion. Okay, fine. 2, sexual play. What? What does that
What?
come from?
Well,
How
yeah,
does
I
that
mean,
talk about
snooker-
Merriam-Webster dictionary?
Snooker qualifies though.
What are you doing
Wow.
with those cue sticks?
Yeah.
Good God.
What's funny is how Stu, when he plays games, he focuses on the aesthetics, the thing around the game, not the game.
Oh, I know. Doesn't it? How good does this game look?
Right.
This
Yeah.
board game looks nice.
And
the
this is
board
like cream
game-
of the crop.
The board
Yeah.
game, he focuses on the setup, how the
Yeah.
cards look, the buys.
He
It's a
hasn't
creme
even
de la
talked
creme.
about the cars
He
looking
never
a certain way.
talks.
These cars are fancy.
When
Yeah,
he
they are.
finally talks about the game, he goes, "Yeah, it was right." Yeah.
It's good. No, the game's
Exactly.
good. I enjoyed it.
See, he said it's good. He didn't say it's all right. He said it's good, Chinny.
Yeah, it's
You're not even
amazing.
listening.
It's fucking superb, man. It's like over
He
the
just has a
top.
bunch of adjectives. Nothing about
Yeah.
the gameplay or like the best part of it or the thing that frustrated him. It's just it
No,
was
the
great.
gameplay was good. There was a lot of tactics. I mean, I
See, it
talked
was
about
good.
all this stuff. There was tic tacs.
Is it complicated though?
Of course,
Yes.
it's complicated. Just look
yes
at it.
and
Jesus.
no.
The
Yeah.
instruction book is 700
No,
pages.
it's not. No, it's not as complicated
Oh,
as it
stop it.
looks when you look at it.
It's
It's
as
not.
complicated as it looks.
Honestly,
That's what
it-
everybody says about these
You're
kinds of
looking
board
at this
games.
and thinking, "Oh, man, look at all that shit on the table."
Yes,
But
that's
you've got to
exactly
remember
what
that
I'm thinking.
there's 4 people playing here, so that, you know, their stuff is only that bit in front of them. So
Stuart,
it's all,
4
yeah.
people can play Monopoly. There's not 700,000 different kinds
There's
of cards and
700,000
tokens and pieces.
things.
Okay, well, that's what it
You're
looks like to me.
Exaggerating a bit there.
Yes, I am exaggerating. For comedic effect, it's called hyperbole. You are
But
correct.
it's very good. It's
And
very
I'm
good.
glad you like
It's-
it. I don't hate on you for liking a game that's different from something I would like. That's changed.
Exactly. And to
Yeah,
be
you
fair,
just
Duke, you're a nerd,
sour
so in
dude.
reality, you should like this.
Well,
I think
there's lots of
nerds
different
like
kinds of
board
nerds,
games.
though.
I think doing a gaming podcast for 14 years qualifies us all as nerds.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So you should be into this if you're a
But I'm
nerd.
not that.
But no, but
nerdy.
there's all kinds of nerds. Like there's word nerds,
Word
there's
nerd,
word
nerds.
blurds.
Bird
Yeah, here, wait,
nerd.
I got the sound clip
Bird
for you.
nerds.
There it is.
What about bird nerds?
There's math
Bird
nerds,
nerd.
there's science nerds, there's literature nerds, there's nature nerds.
Her nerds?
Nerds,
Yeah, there's her
nerds.
nerds, whatever that is.
Big
Her
nerds.
There's people who are into
Little
rocks.
Well, there are rocks, thousands and thousands of rocks.
There's people, nerds who are into Xena.
What do you
Whenever
think,
you
what do
notice
think,
something like that, a wizard did it.
I got a game. I got a game.
All right. Okay.
Right. And
Okay,
dude,
go ahead.
don't give you like you. Oh, I love everybody. So, shut up, right? You got to get rid of a section of nerd, whether it's like book nerds or bike nerds or what nerds
Okay.
would you evaporate from the world? All sorts of nerds.
I think the stay in your basement playing video games in the dark and never seeing the light of day.
Stuart, that's
nerds.
half of our listenership.
that's
What
our
are you
listeners.
doing?
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
smart. No, we're gonna have our numbers cut in half if you
You
get rid
still
of
got to
those
go
numbers.
outside
That's like a-
sometime.
Like a Thanos thing you just did with our audience.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the people who, I would say car nerds.
Car
Like,
nerds.
they're so exhausting if they start talking. I'm not talking about like Marcanix. Marcanix is a cool guy who's into cars.
No,
I'm talking about the
he's
people
gotta
who are
go.
like. No,
Yeah,
he
he's gotta
does
go.
not.
He comes under the
He's
car
not a car
nerds. I
nerd.
mean,
He's
No,
evaporated
car-
as you speak.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah, he's a car nerd.
No.
You can't
Car
pick and
nerds are the people who
choose.
like they
can't
put
go,
like
Well, I like
no,
this car
They'll
nerd,
put
so he's
like
okay.
Honda logo on the back of their Honda car. like real big. Like, what are you doing? Why is that? You think people can't tell it's a Honda car?
Yeah.
Or they can't tell how much you love Honda?
No, I think
And
you
why
see,
Honda? Like, what makes them different?
I think you're getting this wrong here, dude. The
Kia,
nerd
Toyota.
car nerds that need to be gotten rid of are the people who go to these like meetups and then admire each other's cars. You know,
that's
like
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
there's a dude across the road who has a Subaru Impreza thing, right? And it fucking,
well, the Subaru is its own category of nerd.
It's got this.
It was the Saturn that was here. That was the cult in the United States, man. Holy crap, they went nuts.
It's got this stupid fat exhaust on it, right? That's like, and he goes to work at 4 o'clock in the morning and wakes up the entire street. And then he goes.
He's a real man. He's not compensating for anything.
Oh yeah, no, he bought it literally for his 40th birthday. This was like midlife crisis car, and he's had it since then. I mean, he's had it for well over 10 years. This car, I think it's an 04. I think it's like 16, 17, 18 years old or something ridiculous. But it's just he just looks like a dick. You know, he drives around the corner and
maybe he feels that way about you and your board game.
Well, he's gone now, Stu, because Eric just vanished him away.
Yeah,
I know. I'm glad.
See ya.
Maybe we'll wake us up.
What about you, Stu? What kind of nerd would you get rid of?
I've already said the nerd in the basement.
Chinny, how about you?
Don't come out in the light.
Cyclist nerds.
Oh, that's Dan, man. What are you doing? Hardly Dan's a cyclist.
Actually, that is Dan. Sorry, Dan.
You just vanished down and he's in the chat.
Like the people,
the Duchess probably qualifies as that. So.
You know, when we went to EGX, there was a cyclist convention next door, and I looked at them all, and I decided that I don't like them.
Don't like them.
And I was like,
what made you feel that way? Though,
know,
what was
how healthy they are, and how like. Look at us. We're so healthy.
How happy they are.
Oh my god, my heartbeat is like 60 per minute. Like, you know.
Very dramatic.
It's just like, I've been cycling for 6 hours and I barely broke a sweat and I'm walking everywhere with cycling shorts.
That's the thing. If people are dressed head to toe in that,
lycra
spandex shit, the lycra, forget it. Fuck out of here. That's the qualification, because I don't know that Dan does that. So
like somebody goes to the same office that I work at and stuff, and he comes in with his cycling stuff on.
Yeah, and then I have to get changed.
I really wish I could just kick his bike over with him on it.
You should do that. You should just literally do it.
What's he gonna do?
What you should do, wherever he parks his bike, you need to like loiter around there till you see him coming out of the building. When he's about 10 feet away, just kick his bike over and just walk away.
Yeah.
It is very annoying when people come up to you trying to peddle that kind of hobby.
See what you did there.
See what you did there. Yeah.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Time to move on, though.
What you been playing? What you been playing?
I'm from North Guilt County. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Is that it? We're done.
So, Stu, I want to know.
Yes.
What do you want to know? Did you finish Mass Effect 3?
I've finished it, man. No, I haven't. I'm more or less where I was when we spoke. When we spoke about it, because I've been working since, so I just haven't had time to play anymore. Are you finished?
But I've been playing it pretty much all day.
Oh, you must be close then, because you were pretty close already.
I'll tell you what.
That's right.
Shall we talk about Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds like you've already decided to do that. I don't know.
I haven't got the Mass Effect 3 B-roll ready to go.
While you're doing that, I'll talk for a second about something. I don't know. Give me a topic to talk about while you're talking.
Talk about how
talk about these headbuds I got.
How do you organize your files on your PC?
Oh, that's a good one.
I have them in folders.
Oh.
How deep do you go?
What do you mean, how deep?
Do you have anything interesting
within
to say
your folders?
About how?
Here we go.
I've got interesting to say about folder organization.
I've got one for you,
dude. I need to plug these headbuds in because they're not charging.
What is the difference between writing in the 18th century and writing in modern day times?
Well, language is the number one thing that's different. I mean, the world was not as hectic a place as it is now, and so audiences were more leisurely, and in fact, they probably wanted the challenge of like parsing sentences and figuring out exactly what Jane Austen was trying to say. Whereas today, people are like, "Come on, hurry up! I'm on a plane. I have 2 hours to read this book. Let's get through it." And it better have an interesting explanation of why there's this big glass dome over our city.
There you go. Here's another question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Was the Bible written by the Stephen King of Naught BC?
Okay, right. So I've had enough of that. So I've been playing Mass Effect 3. So I've been playing it most of today, and really, what I've been doing most of today is the DLC missions.
All right, okay. You've not been doing that aimless side quest where it's like pick up a piece of, I don't know, neutronium from this obscure planet.
Oh, look, pick up this obelisk from whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I haven't been doing those. Like I've done all the main missions, and I'm right up to the mission where it goes, Shepard, you better fucking finish your shit because we ain't coming back. Kind of mission. So they give you a warning of like, this is the last mission.
Yeah, this is where you're going, man, and there's no
it's going down, yo.
You're done.
I'm like, all right. So I'll do. There's 3 big DLC packs, right? Because I text you midweek.
I have no idea. You were saying, I'm like, I have no idea.
Well,
have you got
the Promethean squad mate yet?
No.
So that's a whole mission.
Yeah.
Right. The Promethean is it was a PS3 exclusive.
Oh, okay.
And it's a whole new character that you unlock. And he's really, really interesting because he's the last Promethean. So for people that don't remember Mass Effect, the Reapers have come in, they're killing everything, and they did it 50,000 years ago, and they killed the Prometheans 50,000 years ago. And he was
this
in a
guy's
little
50,000 years old.
And so in Mass Effect 1, you go down this big tunnel, and it's actually a bunch of Prometheans being frozen, but the power's being switched off, so they're all dying. But this one survives.
And one of them, they took the baby, and then they took it to the institute.
No, this isn't Fallout 4.
Go get him out. That's Fallout 4.
So this one survives, and you preserve him, and you do a whole cool mission to get him out. You get him out, and he's a full squad member dude. Right,
is he good though? Because a lot of these DLC characters are a bit
good.
Shit,
no, I think they wrote it. This is how good he is, right? I took him on some of these DLC missions and some of the normal missions, right? And I took him on a main mission today actually, because I did some of the main missions today, and I took him with me because you've got to find this temple, right?
Oh,
you haven't got there yet, but
I haven't got to a temple yet.
So
no.
This is one of the main missions. So. It's an Asari temple, and you've got to find the catalyst to the Citadel. I know I'm talking bollocks, right? But
just pretend like it's the Temple of Doom.
No,
we'll go with that.
So no, there's a thing called the Crucible. The Crucible is the weapon that is going to kill the Reapers.
That's right, and then
basically like a Lost Ark or something.
Yes.
Who's building your Crucible?
Fucking everyone's building it.
Yeah.
Everybody's
They're all building it. They're all building it.
Because
I've had
a bit Lego thing.
I've had a little bit of a problem in my game because I'm doing Renegade stuff, right? And I never played it as a Renegade in the first time around, but I'm doing some pretty bad shit. And
you're such a bad boy.
I shot Ashley and killed her. I was like,
when did you kill her?
I fucking killed her. When I was like, what the fuck? So basically,
that's the time to do this.
I'm leave for the beat.
You know, dickhead Udina or whatever. The fucking counselor dude who I picked by mistake in the first game.
Yeah.
Well, he goes rogue.
That's right.
And is in with Cerberus, right? And they're trying to fucking let the Cerberus people in.
Yeah.
And Ashley's like protecting him. And so I'd taken her you take her to the infirmary at the beginning, don't you? Because she gets injured really badly, right? So I saved her ass. And then Udina's trying to let him in, and I'm going to say, no, don't protect him. And then the Renegade option came up, so I just triggered, and I just shot her in the stomach and killed her. I was just like, shot her dead. And she was pissed, right?
She was pissed because you shot her in the stomach. Who'd have thought?
Because you go up to her right afterwards and you're like, oh, Ashley, I'm so sorry, but you backed the wrong horse, sort of thing. Why were you backing Udina? You should have realized and all this. And she's like, screw you, Shepard. Something like that.
Because you shot her in the stomach. Chinny, sorry, is this your playthrough that we're looking at on the screen, Chinny? Why are you constantly going back to the bathroom over and over again?
Yeah,
you have like a runny
I'll
bum?
explain what you're watching soon.
So,
okay, go ahead.
So
I'd
what
love to
happened
hear
in
this.
your version then?
I
you're full on Renegade. So did you not get the prompt?
So I got an evil speech option to say, Ashley, stop being a fucking twat and move out the way. And she's like, what? And then I killed Udina.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Well, I did, but after I killed Ashley.
Now, Ashley's one of my squad mates.
Well, she ain't my squad mate. She fucking hates my guts. Well, she's dead, but she hated my guts, man.
No, she's
those
one of my
moments
squad.
before
It was
she died.
honestly, it was almost as bad as when I had Rex killed in the first game, because I was like, I was expecting like, I don't know, just some like slap.
Ashley is the second human Spectre in my game.
Yeah, well, she was still a Spectre in my game, but she's dead now.
She's dead.
She's a dead Spectre.
Human Spectres don't have a good track record in your world, do they?
No, God, man. Honestly, it was shocking. I was like, I wouldn't have expected the game to let you do that, but I guess it does.
It does.
It just did.
What's it?
So
dead. What I was talking about before was, so
Oh.
you've got the Crucible, right? That's being
Yes.
built by various people. And the Crucible is the weapon to kill the Reapers. The Reapers are the bad people. Okay. The Crucible needs a key to get it going, to start it, a catalyst. So you have to find out where this catalyst is, and you go to this temple on this Asari world, right? Stu, Duke, you with yourself?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, this would be good to bring Liara, because she's an Asari, so she has to go anyway, so that's fine. But I thought it'd be good to bring Javik, who's the Promethean, because they said, oh, this temple's like well old. So I was like, well, he's well old. So that'll be good, right? And the dialogue that he has in that scene, it's almost like I picked the one and only guy that could be in it, because you see a recording of a Promethean and he's like, you're a Promethean. And they have this full-on conversation. And you're like, what would have happened if I didn't pick him?
There you go.
And honestly,
well,
then
something would have happened.
Then I started to think about, like, how do they fucking work this shit out?
Oh, I know.
It must be a
ridiculous.
fucking nightmare to work it out. Like, who goes when? What if that character goes there? It's like that thing in Always Sunny with Charlie, and he's got all the strings everywhere. It's all a fucking conspiracy, man. And it's crazy, right? But
it is a bit, isn't it? It is mad. I mean,
there's loads of there's loads of dialogue in that mission that was like, it feels like I'd pick the right. I think Mass Effect is really good at making you think that you pick the right character all the time, even though you haven't, because they've all got these like brilliant dialogue bits, and you're like, wow, like you never feel like you picked the wrong one. It's so good.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say the other thing I did, which was, what did you do? You know, with the genophage thing.
Yeah.
So did you cure? Did you cure it, or did you do
them? Yeah.
Because the Solarians want you to like pretend you cured it, but
yeah, they
didn't.
want you to So this is the mission where you can cure the Krogan genophage, and they want you to pretend that it didn't work, or like stall or something like that. And
no, wait a minute. No, what they want you to do is pretend you're doing it.
Yes.
But alter the code of it slightly so it actually doesn't work, but they'll think it does work, so even though it doesn't work.
That no one will ever know that you
for ages
that you did anything, but the Mordin will be like, well,
Mordin's dead anyway, isn't he? He's dead as well.
He's dead on mine. I think he dies no matter what.
I think he dies whatever happens, doesn't he? Because he goes to the top of the tower thing, and the next thing you know, it all explodes. So he's a goner.
That's right.
He sacrifices himself for the greater good.
That's right. But because I was texting you midweek, Stu, and I was like, I hope you're playing the DLCs and the side missions.
I don't know. I'm back in though.
Well, so you should definitely get Javik, who's the Promethean character, right?
Okay.
And the 3 DLC packs are the Leviathan, Omega, and the Shore Leave one, right? And do you know anything about any of these?
Nope.
Right. So, like, the way you spot them, one of them's like like LA Noire detective.
Don't lie to me.
Right. So, like, you're in this guy's lab, and like his assistant gets possessed, and then the guy dies, and then you've got to track down his door. It's a massive mission. These DLCs are like 2-3 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's when they gave you. That's when you got value for money.
They're fucking huge, right? And then you do the other one, which is remember Omega in Mass Effect 2? That cool sort of like fucked up station.
Yeah,
and you had that Asari, and she was like a bit of a badass.
Well, she's in purgatory on.
That's right.
Yeah. So I've met her. So I've done a mission for her already.
You can't take any of your squad mates on that DLC.
Right.
Because she's your squad mate. And then
I quite like her. She's funny.
She's your squad mate. So you level her up and she's like on your team. And then you come across another one and it's a female Taurian. We don't really see female Taurians.
Right.
And I think they used to bang or something. And like you can, and she's your squad mate.
Right.
And you're like fucking rocking with them. And you're like, this is like a different fucking game. Like,
mind you, she is like ruthless.
She was. And she loses it at one point. It's a really good scene. But so that DLC is about 2 hours, Stu.
Right.
But the one that I want to talk about and focus on is this one that I've got on the screen right now, right?
Okay.
So this one is called, I think it's called the Citadel or something. And you'll know that it prompts you to do it when you've got to go to your apartment at the Citadel.
Right, I've never been there.
So like basically, you know when you click Citadel, land.
Yeah.
There's Dock 42, which is one DLC, which is the Omega DLC. There's some Byron's Lab, which is the other DLC, and then there's your apartment. You get given an apartment, right?
Yeah, I've definitely not been there.
So you know what's his name? Keith David in the game. I don't know what his game name is, but it's voiced by Keith David, isn't it? Like the black guy who's in London or on Earth.
Oh,
Anderson.
Jesus.
Anderson. So Keith David, he gives you his apartment. He's like, I'm staying on Earth. You have my apartment. Now, I knew a little bit about this DLC, and what I knew was that it's kind of like a funny, jokey DLC that everybody gets together and parties. Right? Okay. So all your squad...
Yeah.
But what I didn't know was that there's a fucking 2-hour mission before that, and it's brilliant. It is like...
Really?
It's like an Uncharted mission.
Really?
Because most of them... There are bits of tongue-in-cheek. There's bits of tongue-in-cheek, isn't there? Like, there's a bit of, like, you know... a little bit of funny stuff, but the Citadel one, it's called Shore Leave. This is this character there that you see on the screen. Her name is Brooks, so she's a new character, and like she's like, I'm about to throw up and all this sort of stuff. And remember what I said about Mass Effect 2? The last mission on Mass Effect 2, the suicide mission. I wish that all the missions was like that, where everybody went on it. Yeah. Well, that's what happens on this. And Rex comes back. And everybody's the fucking crew's back together. Yeah, and
I'll tell you who isn't coming back in mine. Ashley,
she's not back. But you're falling down buildings, and you're chasing people, and you fucking fly. And it's amazing. This DLC, Stu. If you don't play the Citadel,
I will play it. I promise.
You miss out. Honestly, this is fantastic. I'm just telling you. I'm not having a go.
Playing all right.
But honestly,
put the Gloomhaven away. Stop buying boxes.
No. But I was just like, because you text me saying, no, I'm just doing all the main quests. I was like, no, you've got to play these, man. These are great.
Okay. I'm convinced. All right, you've convinced me.
But I really tried to batter it today and get it finished today, but I've run out of time.
While we're talking about that, by the way, Susan's put a thing out. Anybody got anything different to D6 on the game of the year so far, right? And Steve Pemberton has said, I haven't got any of those, but I am playing Mafia, and I'm tempted to play Mass Effect because of Stu and Chinny. Fucking, if you've never played this, Steve, right? Because that's the impression I get. You're just fucking mental. You need to play.
Yeah, but you can't just say it like this. Look,
say what we want. It's our show.
Okay, you're right. You can, but you're not likely to get someone to play a game by just saying just play it. Because you know what you know what else you say that about, Stu? Every game. You know this game where you throw ducks at balloons. Like just play it.
I don't say that.
To add to that,
of course you do. You absolutely do. Let me say this to Trite or whoever it was. I'm looking at Trite in the YouTube chat. Whoever said it. Listen. Mass Effect is the gold standard of science fiction RPGs. It is BioWare at their best. I once called it the best story in all of video gaming. The controls are magnificent. The graphics are wonderful. It really is, one of the 10 best video game series of all time.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think there are, if you're a fan of video games and you haven't even tried it, it might not be for you. But I appreciate that Metal Gear Solid isn't for me. I don't like it, but I've seen it. I've watched it. I've watched people play it. I get, and it's so gaming. It's culturally gamingly relevant. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Things break the culture barrier, like Harry Potter and Star Wars and things like that. But in the gaming world, it's like a smaller bubble. like, you know, amongst like podcasters and gamers and all that sort of stuff, I think Mass Effect is one of those games where we're never really going to get a game like that, like series like that again. It's so strange and so unique that we had these 3 games that have these through lines that you can make all these choices and people can die, and they're so.
It was a great example of everything lining up. In the world
and
of
it's a
gaming.
persistent world
today,
as well. That's the other thing,
right? And if this game were made today, it would be done as an MMO, and you just keep going. You know, they would keep developing.
Yeah, there would be
going
no
in
proper
missions.
story. There would be no proper ending.
Exactly. So
I do
from
think
a time
when
when game developers put a focus on storytelling, because that's what BioWare did for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I know we bang on about it, but it is a thing, isn't it? Now, these games don't get made, and they do, but in a very small, limited
it's
way.
Very different to Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, or Halo 1, 2, and 3. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. So if people thinking, oh, it's just 3 games in a row, it's like, no, it's not. It's like you could kill Ashley in the first game, you can kill her in the 3rd game. You could come up, come across a character. You can have sex with the character in the first game and then never see him again. You know, all these weird things that come up. And then aside to that, all the missions are really interesting. They're all fun. And you get to know the area. You get to know the Citadel. And you get to know your character. And, oh, man, it's just...
And there's some shocking moments, you know. This game does a really good job of shocking you.
This mission
sometimes.
had a shocking moment. When something happened in this mission, I was like... like that. I was like, oh, I didn't see it.
It's just crazy. Honestly, I mean, Millie's boyfriend has not played these games, and I just keep saying to him, you need to
but
play them.
There are people that are growing up.
But he's young. He's 20. You know, he wasn't even born when these games came out. Well, barely born. He was born, but not very much.
He would have been 10.
6.
Younger.
No,
well, Mass Effect 3 came out in 2012.
Well, when did Mass Effect come out, though?
2007.
Yeah, so he was, very young.
He was too young, you know. So well, I suppose if people are listening to this and you're like, yeah, I'm 20, I'm 24, I'm 25, like, yeah, I was a bit young for Mass Effect. Like, this is brilliant. These 1, 2, and 3, these are.
He was
great.
5 years old when this came out.
Yeah,
the first game.
Yeah, so I'm right on the end, Stu. I think you should.
I'm going to plow on. I mean, this week it's my birthday on Tuesday, as you all know. I'm 50 years old. I'm fucking old. So I'm going to be busy all day. So there won't be much video games going on Tuesday, and Kay's got stuff planned. So who knows what that's going to be. But I'm finishing my holidays on Thursday, so I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get some more gaming time in on this. I must admit, really, I mean, I know we spoke about it last couple of weeks that I wasn't really feeling it as much as the other 2 games.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit like, you know, but I've had my palate cleanser and I'm seriously fully back in.
Yeah.
I'm fully back in. What's weird, it wasn't telling me my playtime properly. It was giving me just giving me like an hour and a half or 2 and a bit hours or something. I think it was just like session time when I did a save. But it seems to have righted itself, and now it's giving me the entire time I played it from the first game, I think, because it's up to 82 hours or something.
Yeah.
So I think it's giving me the full play time now. So
I don't know.
Who knows?
But I think Mass Effect 3, its shining beacon is the DLC that it comes with. I think it's some of the best DLC in any video game, really. It's so good.
I think The Witch is pretty good though. That's a high bar.
Chris from Void Games was talking to me about the Witcher 3 DLC last week.
Yeah, Blood and Wine is superb.
That's what he was talking about. Yeah,
absolutely superb. The other one's not as good. It's all right, but it's more of just like a bit of a mission.
Yeah.
Blood and Wine is on a whole other level.
I think I'm too far removed from from Witcher 3 now, so like I don't think I can go back. Do you know what I mean? Like I just couldn't. I played
the other
Witcher 3 for so many hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to start a DLC.
Blood and Wine's just super. But the other
Blood and Wine is amazing.
It is. The other good DLC was in the original Oblivion. The Shivering Isles was again just superb.
I love the Fallout 3 DLCs. I thought they were
those are good.
Like the mothership one, and I thought they were
Bethesda do
the locations on the Nuka World DLC. The locations are great. The story is garbage. The action, there's really not a lot of action. unless you want to align yourself with gangs, in which case, yeah, there's interesting action, I suppose. But once you decide you want to free the slaves they've got, then it's like, just kill everybody.
Yeah.
You just go around killing everybody, which is fine. It's just, I want.
I think
there
the greatest DLC packs is Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and Damned.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
like, that is
Well,
like
it's almost as though we're all going to our corners. Stu is going to the Witcher. DLC is the best.
And Oblivion.
Chinny says Rockstar's got the best DLC. I say Bethesda's got the best DLC.
Hey, do you know what though?
Almost as though we're
I may
fanboys.
change my mind after playing the DLC in this game.
it's pretty good.
Well, there
It's
you go.
pretty good.
I may change my
Yeah.
mind. I don't think I will.
No, but
But I
it's up
may
there.
do,
It's
who
up there
knows?
as like, wow. Remember when they used to do DLC right?
Well, remember when they just used to make good games?
Yeah. But
Like
it's,
games
you know
that you
what
were
though? The great
invested
thing
in.
is that it's all packed into this because you'd have to wait like 3 months and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for like this DLC to come out. And
Yeah, yeah. This is like get the whole caboodle all in one go.
You know, because if you finish the game and you got to wait 3 months, like, why the fuck would you want to play the like? You know, it's done. Like that's why I never played this Shore Leave DLC because I was done with the game. I was finished. It was over for me. I was like, I'm not going back. I never really
think
go
what's-
back.
What's interesting for me at the moment in the game, and I'm assuming you're similar, I feel so overpowered.
I'm fucking blitzing everyone.
Yeah, I am. I'm
level
killing it.
59.
Yeah, you're way, but I'm at level 42.
You know the war in
something
the
like that,
game in Mass
43.
Effect 3. You've got like a war assets meter. So the
yeah.
minimum is about 1/3 along.
Yeah, I'm nearly at the minimum
My,
now.
mine is basically at the like absolute full.
You're
Like,
ready to
people
go.
are looking
You're
around
sorted.
going,
Why are we still waiting?
"Are we gonna go?" Like even the
Yeah.
Reapers are just like, "Are you coming or?" are you-
Yeah, what's happening?
Like, what are you doing? It's nuts. So that's Mass Effect 3. I think
It's
it's
so
great.
good.
I think the shining beacon for 3 is the DLC. I still think 2 is the best one, and 1 has its place as well. So they're all very, very good.
I think they all do. And like I say, I mean, anyone listening who's of a younger generation, shall we say, because we realise that there are younger people who listen
Yeah,
to
there's
the
people our age and older that haven't played this
Yeah.
shit as well.
Yeah, you just
Play it, you
play it because it's
shitheads.
as Duke said it best. It's amazing. There you go. The
Yeah.
story's great.
Gold standard.
It's gold standard.
You know,
Give it a
I
go.
think if maybe some people are, I don't really like sci-fi, and I'm like, well, I don't really like orcs and elves and wizards and shit. And I played The Witcher 3, and I was like, this is brilliant.
And you play Skyrim.
Skyrim, brilliant. And I think this is one of those games where you're like, you know what,
Skyrim was better.
you've just got to put that aside because the game's too good, and like Witcher 3 and Skyrim are too good for you to just like, I don't like magic.
Dismissed them out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I
play
go
it.
back and forth on which one's better on Witcher 3 and Skyrim. I think it's.
I know.
Close
We
race.
know. I
It's
like the
obviously
fact that
Skyrim.
that's how it is, though, because they are both
It's a
good
close
games.
race.
No,
They are both
Skyrim's
good
better.
games. Look, here's me being diplomatic. Duke just can't do it, can he? He just cannot do it. Cannot do it. Anyway, Duke, seeing as you're talking, why don't you talk about what you've been playing?
Yeah, why don't we talk about me?
Yeah,
and
talk
my
about you.
games? What I
Talk
like
about you.
Games. What are video games?
What
Um,
are video
Patrick's ParaBox.
He's still
Hey,
playing
still
this
on
shit.
Still on.
I think I'm close. I think I'm
Okay,
at like
let's go.
220, and I think there's 250 in the game, so I'm making progress. But you know me, I open this up maybe once a day, solve 1 or 2 puzzles, put it away.
Boom.
So I'm making steady progress, but I ain't trying to
Pow.
blitz nothing.
There you go.
Pow.
Pow.
Pow! Yeah, there's part of the game. So the new mechanic that they put in, I told you last time that there were some levels that I was playing where you push yourself into a box and you can put it into you, and so that's an interesting dynamic. Now there's other boxes with eye holes, and you can move yourself
God.
into.
Don't-
You can the you. It's like the swapper. You can put you into the other box. It's really weird. It adds a new dynamic because again, it
sounds
means that
really
stuff
weird.
isn't like forever against the side. Before this, it was like stuff was against the side forever, and that was just the way it was.
And is this one of those levels that we're watching now then?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
weird
He's
you
kind of
put your-
racing through them, but yeah, this is
Oh,
the idea:
wow.
is that like you've got, you got to figure out how to get these things around, and it really does change the nature of everything because
Oh my god.
normally when you put something into the corner, like it's in the corner, there's nothing you can do about it. But now you put it in the corner, and then you just go hop into the next box, and so it's a new kind of.
I mean, I must admit, I'm watching this dude. He is making me dizzy just watching him.
Well, yeah, because
know,
he's
this-
doing it very quickly. There's a number of ways you could do it. You can think about that. What they say actually in the tutorial is try to imagine where the pieces will all be at the end of the level and then work your way back from there, which is an interesting way to think about it. But a lot of people are just going to do it like trial and error, like rushing as fast as they can.
Oh.
That's not the way I tend to do it, but yeah, there was a right horrible level that I had to do today, and I was trying to take a nap at one point, and I was like, okay, as soon as I do this level, I'll go take a nap. And then like 20 minutes later, I was like, God damn it, what the... I should have done it after I took the nap because I didn't get as much sleep as I could have gotten. But anyway, I eventually got it. I still haven't had to look up any solutions lately on the interwebs, which is a good feeling. But on the other hand, I don't need to feel bad if I do have to do that because, you know, it's a tough game. But it's great. It's so clever. It's so well done. It's
crazy.
Yeah, they just keep impressing me with all the different ideas they have going on here. And I think this is a game where when I finish it, my guess is that, you know, if they're smart, in a year from now, they will like come out with a DLC pack. Like I would totally spend $5 on another 100 levels. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to watch this developer because it's, you know, like I've said, it is one of the most, how to describe it? It's one of the most innovative and elegant puzzle games since Portal.
Push it in.
Push it in. Push it in.
But that's the thing is you push. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say what I think is this, Duke. If you play a game for this long, it means that it's got its hooks into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally. And that's the thing is that like I always like to have a puzzle game going, but it's the type of thing where it has to be elegant.
It's infuriating watching it, Duke. Like I'm watching it and it's like fucking.
I think this dude is going that fast though. Even I'm like I'm a bit like oof.
Right.
Even the level selection is fucking hard.
Well, that's the thing is right. The level selection is iterative as itself. So,
wow,
it's crazy.
And how much is it? How much is this game?
It can't be more than $10.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That is value for money, isn't it?
It
When you
is.
think how many hours you've played this now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this YouTuber's name is Isley Puzzles.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he just likes puzzle games. So that's why he's probably so quick.
It is quick. It is true.
Yeah, the game is actually it's $20. I got it on sale, I think. So. It's you know, is it worth $20? I don't know. I'm glad I got it on sale. It's a great game. You know, in terms of value for money, I've definitely gotten my money's worth. Like there's a lot of games I've paid more for and gotten less out of. But there's a demo, so you know, definitely try the demo on Steam, and it's probably on mobile. But it's you know, it's the type of game where if you really like puzzle games and you're ready to have your brain melted, this will do it.
Oh my god, this is hurting me.
Yeah,
yeah. It really
it's a lot to take in, isn't it?
I'm looking at the level. I finished this level, and I don't even remember how I did it. To be honest, like I reached a point where I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I know I finished it. So.
That is funny.
Yep. All right. So who's next?
Can I just say before we move on? By the way, there was something I wanted to mention about Mass Effect 3, and I forgot to say it in the midst of all the other stuff. I know it's only something very quick.
Now it's too late.
But there's a mission where there's a dude who's sat on a bench and he wants some arms for C-Sec. He wants these fancy, like, black market weaponry. Do you remember this, Chinny? And you go to the guy who sells it, and he's like, I'm not selling you nothing unless you bring me some cool artifacts back. And it's when you're doing the Asari in Purgatory, and she wants you to get all the different factions on side.
Oh, right.
And one of them wants this admiral off his back, and he's like, I want to get that admiral, whatever his name is, off my back.
Yeah, vaguely remember
So you can either call her, if he does not playing ball, you can call her, and basically a hit squad will presumably come and sort him out, just get rid of him. Or you can get these black market weapons for him, and then he gets off the sun, whatever they are, backs. I can't remember what they're called now.
Blue Sun, is it?
Blue Suns, the Blue Suns. So that's what they want. But I have no idea, unless you just happen to go to this one star system and this one planet and picked up this stuff he wants, this artifact to sell you these. There's no way there's no direction for you to, he doesn't give you any clues. He doesn't go, you need to go and look here, maybe. You just stumble across it. So I actually, it's the first time I've Googled something. I just Googled it. I'm like, where do you go for this? And it was just like, there is no way I would have instinctively come across that.
Where was it?
Because then it's on some weird planet right at the bottom of the star system. And then you have to get, where you go outside of that one and then travel to another one. And then it's on a little planet in that system.
Is it dog tags?
No. He wants these. There's basically some sort of war artifacts that he can make weapons out of.
Right.
But he won't sell you the black market weapons until you've got that for him.
I must have done it.
Well, you probably didn't. You probably just called in the hit squad.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because that's the easiest option. Because he says, he's like, oh, have you still not got the stuff I need? Because I went back to him to see if I get a clue off him, and he's like, you still not got the stuff I need? And then he goes, and then there's an option that he says, call whatever her name is, the Asari, to sort things out, sort of thing. So you can probably just do that. But there's no way you would have just found that on your... Well, you may have come across it by chance. But there's no... I just think missions like that are weird. You know what I mean? That don't give you any hints or indication of where to go or anything.
That was never an issue for me. I don't know. I just never...
Yeah. Well, there was, like I say, an easy route, but then that was a more renegade route.
Yeah.
Where you just have him killed instead.
Right.
But I was just like, I don't want to kill him. He seems like a nice chap.
I don't think I killed any of those guys, though.
No, it's weird. Maybe you just already got it just by chance.
Possibly.
When you were exploring other places.
Yeah.
Because I don't get around as much as you in that game.
No, I get around. I get about a bit.
You do get about a bit. Have you played anything else, Chinny?
I have not.
I have not. Right. Well, in that case, I will move on then to Life is Strange: True Colors.
Yes.
I have hammered this game and I have finished it.
Hey.
And I think this is the best Life is Strange game to date.
He's saying it, folks. He's saying it.
I do. I genuinely do. And the reason I say that is that I just think it's got the best and most mature story out of the three games. It's the one that kind of you can resonate with more, and it's just dialogue is better.
I want Duke to be the judge.
Duke will never play this.
I never finished the first one, and I'm not likely to play this one anytime soon.
This has much better dialogue. It's much better written. The core themes in the game are just so much better.
Wouldn't you play it for entertainment's sake, though, Duke?
No.
It's just great. I mean, the story's really cool. It's really well written. I thought the ending was great.
I wasn't captivated enough in the first one to finish it, so it seems unlikely I'll be captivated by this one.
But this is completely different.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's totally different. It's
a young woman moving about a town, exploring the things going on, and using some magic ability to uncover some sort of deep mystery within it.
Not
episodic,
kind of, but not really.
Listening to a lot of people talking. Stop me if I go wrong.
No, you're right.
Okay.
Because it's only the same. It's only
different.
the same as a Walking Dead game.
Yeah.
But you like those.
Yeah, because the story was. I don't know if I would have loved it on paper.
In this.
It might be. Yeah.
It's interesting because you're talking.
I might play it, but I also think that there was something about me at the time The Walking Dead came out that just got me into it. I never played Tales from the Borderlands. I never played the Strong Bad game from Telltale. I didn't finish Back to the Future.
What about The Wolf Among Us? Did you play that?
Nope, never touched it. Someone gifted it to me and I never went near it. Sorry.
You see, it's interesting because, you enjoyed The Walking Dead because you thought it was a good story.
Yeah.
This is kind of a way more refined version of that.
That's fine.
We've got to a point where the graphics look great. These games are much better graphically, animation, voice acting.
That's fine.
It is top notch. I mean, it's top drawer. Everything about the game is great.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I like it. Like I say, I liked it better than any of the other games that came prior to this.
I'm glad you.
And what's quite interesting is Steph, who's one of the other main characters in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I kept looking at her and thinking, I am sure that I've seen that character from somewhere, like in the previous game, but I couldn't place where I'd seen her. And when I looked her up, it turns out she was in Before the Storm, which was also made by the same developers as this game, because this isn't Don't Nod. I can't remember the name of the developers. It's a different developer and also obviously writers. But I think they're better than Don't Nod at doing their game.
They've outgamed them.
They have. They've outgamed them, outstoried them, out everything them. I just think this is the best.
The developers are called Deck 9.
Yeah, they're so good.
Square
They're just better writers. They're just much better. It's a good game. I can't recommend it enough.
Do Square Enix still have it? Because they got bought, didn't they?
No, I think this is gone as well. I think this is part of the sale.
I forgot the name of the people that bought it, but yeah,
I believe this went as well. But
sold a lot of shit.
It's great. I mean, if you just want to chill, because this is a very chill game. You know, there's not a lot that you have to.
I just find them
make
boring.
Dialogue choices. I know. It is like an interactive movie. That is pretty much.
You're just watching a show at this point, and you
are. There are 6 different endings. There are 6 different endings to this game, but I had a look today because I thought, you know what, I got what I was satisfied with my ending. I was like, yeah, I like that. That's what I think would have happened, right?
Yeah.
But there are 5 others. When I've looked though, they're just slight variations on what I got. So none of them are drastically different. You know, I don't think anything. You know, when you were talking about last week, Duke, and said like, you know, these games, they give you this illusion of choice that's going to have some fundamental effect at the end.
Yeah.
But they never really do.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean?
Dude, what if you made a game all about that illusion of choice?
Yeah.
And you like have a parable about a guy named Stanley, maybe? That would be amazing.
Oh, now you're talking. But yeah, it's good. It's really, really good. Totally recommend it. It's a great murder mystery game. I think it's brilliant. It's really good. So there you go.
Cool. Glad you like it.
Duke, back over to you, I guess.
Well, last week you may all recall that I had discovered that No Man's Sky had given us a kind of story mode with the Expeditions. And I have been playing the Expedition 6, The Blight. And
sounds exciting.
Yeah,
in fact, not only have I played it...
Let's play Guess the Game that Chinny's played and finished this week.
I finished Expedition 6! Yeah! And now I have a cape.
Cool.
So how long did it take you?
A cape? 13 hours.
Well, that's quite hefty then.
It is quite hefty. Now, to be fair, most of that time was spent doing things that everybody does when they play this game because, you know, in order to get to the place that you need to get to for the third rendezvous, it's in a red star system, and you can't get to a red star system unless you have this particular chemical. You need this chemical. You can only get it by going to a green star system. You can only go to a green star system by having this certain kind of engine. You have to get this kind of, you know, there's all these steps to everything, which you have famously called bookkeeping or whatever.
Busy work.
Right. So fine. Anyway, there's a lot of busy work. But that said, it's so satisfying, and they did a very good job of, with these expeditions, making it less tedious, because normally, like, you know, you're going to install that engine, you're going to need 300 gold. So in order to get 300 gold, you have to go fly around and shoot up a bunch of asteroids so you can get that gold. Although, as I've said, the mining of asteroids is awesome in this game compared to Elite Dangerous. Mining asteroids in that game's a nightmare. But yeah, so they just when you finish one part of the, you know, expedition, they just hand you 500 gold, and it's just like, oh, cool. And then when you get to the end of it, you get this basically you're hunting down this big pirate treasure, and it got me 25 million units at the end of the adventure. I was like, yes, I'm rich. And of course, then the point is like, what do I want to do with that money? Nothing. I have the best ship you can't buy.
Have you got a decent ship now? Because you were.
I've got
struggling.
an S-class ship. I haven't.
You were
ever
struggling,
had an
if you remember rightly.
There was an achievement. Well, here's the thing. It's not that. I mean, yes, I was sort of struggling, but the problem is that there's no proper like ship shop. And it's not as though they couldn't have one, because they did implement the anomaly in this game, which has a shop for you to buy blueprints to build up your base. There's this old way of getting blueprints to build up your base, which is where you dig up tech out of the ground and then you use it on your base computer to research new tech. And you could do that, but that takes forever. So instead, they implemented this shop on the. You can still do it that way, but they implemented this shop on the Anomaly where you can summon it anywhere, and you just stroll in and you spend your nanites, which, by the way, they were also shoveling to us on this expedition. I had like 5,000 at one point nanites, and and the biggest, the most expensive thing cost like 500 nanites. So I was just like, I'm buying everything I want. It was great. But they need to have a better way for you to get a better ship, because right now it takes a long time to save up the money to buy a better ship, and then you have to just wander around or play this stupid reloading game in order to get a variety of ships that you can buy. However, at one point I just looked over and this person had an S-class fighter, and I was like, yes, please give me your ship. And I went over and I bought it, and I was like, yay. And then I got an achievement. I'm like, whoa, how about that? I've been playing this game a lot and I haven't had an achievement in a minute. So that was cool. The other thing that you had to do here, you have to use Exocraft. And I've never really used Exocraft. What's an Exocraft, Duke? Well, most of the game is spent in your spaceship flying around or jumping around in your spacesuit, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. Exocraft are kind of in between. There's like 6 different kinds of them. And there's one is like a buggy. You can roll around the planet on it. And I should, it makes sense to get that because, if you're going to go exploring a planet, it's not expensive, but taking off and landing in your ship, it moves very quickly, right? You're moving in your little spacesuit, it's a lot more slow. So the Exocraft is kind of in between, which is nice. But I always figure, like, I'm not going to be on the planet long enough. I might as well just, jump around by myself. And if you land here and then you hop around on the planet for a while, wherever you end up later on the planet, you can just summon your ship right to that spot. So you don't really need to stay near your ship. So anyway, at one point, there are a number of missions on the expedition that required you to go deep underwater in a craft. And I had never dealt with that before. I've always stayed away from the oceans. So, I built the craft to go down the ocean. But then it said, like, you have to install the sonar. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I installed the sonar. And then it said, oh, you have to use this in deep water. And I was like, I'm in deep water. What does that even mean? How do I find deep water? So I did a Google search, like, find deep water. And they were like, all the Reddit threads were like, how do you find deep water? And they were like, just look around, keep trying. So again, it was this, like, guessing game about which planet might have deep water on it, water deep enough to activate this sonar to get you this relic from the bottom of the sea. Because a lot of planets, they're procedurally generated, right? So, like,
So this relic can be on any planet, or is it just in any deep water?
Oh, it could be in any planet as long as it's got deep water. Like, there has to be a certain depth that you go to so that the sonar activates and you find a ruin in the water.
Right.
So it's weird because it's procedurally generated, so you can't just be like, find me a planet with deep enough water. That would be nice if that were an option. Because here's the thing. Again, there are some ways in which the game does that, right? If you're trying to find a system that's controlled by pirates, you put a conflict scanner in your ship, and then boom, when you look at the galaxy, it's like pirate controlled over here. And it's very handy. But in some ways, the things that you need to find are very difficult to find. So it's just, they're still developing it, I suppose, which is weird because it's 10 years later. Yeah. But here's the thing. The hardest part of this expedition came when I had to take on the Sentinels. Now, I hate fighting the Sentinels. Sentinels are a pain in the ass. Why? Because there's 5 levels of Sentinel combat. So when you go to a planet that has aggressive Sentinels or a high level of Sentinels, you start digging for resources or whatever, and the Sentinels show up and they start monitoring you, and you have this little indicator that's like, the Sentinels are watching you, and you can turn around and see them flying. They're like gnats on a camping trip. They're just like, get away from me. So if you start attacking them, they will attack back, and then you can take down the first level easy. But then it says, reinforcements coming, 20 seconds, and you can either leg it or you can stick around and try to fight. Well, normally I just leg it because I don't want to be fighting these robots that are real annoying. And they have implemented in one of the most recent updates, it might be this one, but it might be the one before it, they've implemented a type of Sentinel that heals the other Sentinels. So
always fun.
Always fun.
Yeah,
So is this kind of No Man's Sky Horde mode then, is it?
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of the way it works with the Sentinels now.
Yeah, because like you get that waves of them and sort of the increasingly more difficult.
Right. And there was one where it was like this kind of mech thing. And I was like, holy crap, this was level 4 out of 5. And I was just like, damn. And I'm like constantly jumping and recharging my shield and stuff. Fortunately, when you kill sentinels, they drop these little green barrels and that has shield goop in it. So it replenishes your shields as long as you don't get hurt while your shield's replenishing, which sometimes you do. But I was just constantly hopping back and forth, like trying to get out of the way. And I was trying to take down this mech by like shooting and then running, shooting and running. And I realized later that I didn't have the right weapon. I was using the bolt caster. You're supposed to use the plasma launcher, whatever. Anyway, eventually I realized like, he's not losing health. And it's because he had one of these little dudes flying near him and healing him up every time I took his health down at all. So I was like, oh, I have to kill that first. And so I did, and then I was doing some damage on him, and then another one showed up. I'm like, God damn it, go away. So it's real hard to tell like how many you're actually fighting against and all this stuff. But eventually I got the mech down. I was like, yes, awesome. One more level to go. Wait a minute, what's the next level going to be? Holy shit. It's like the Ed 209 in RoboCop. You know what I'm talking about? The walkers on Endor, those two-legged things with the big head, and pew, pew, pew. It was that. And I was like, ah! But then I realized, wait a minute, I don't have to panic. I was fighting near a trade platform. And if anybody knows the trade platform in No Man's Sky, it's like these six... The trade platforms, am I right?
Yeah, the trade platforms.
Yeah, the trade platforms. It's these 6, like, platforms, and they're only accessible... They're only accessible with a ladder, or you could fly up with your jetpack. So they can't get up to where you are, basically. The Sentinel, the individual fly dudes can, but they're not dangerous. So the little dudes were flying around, hitting me with, little pew, pew. But meanwhile, the Walker robot death machine was down below. So all I did was, like, stay back from the edge, go over, fire a couple of shots, and fall back. Go up, fire a couple of shots, fall back. It was great. It worked. I got him. Woohoo! And when you kill that, all the sentinels are deactivated. Suddenly it's all calm. There's all this stuff that he drops. There's a walker brain and there's these legs and all this tech you can sell as scrap. I was like, yes. And then you go find the sentinel pillar, which is this like big, scary looking obelisk. But all you do is take out these like 3 little tanks around it. And then you go in and you can like get a multi-tool and you can get like stuff to sell, and I was like, sweet. And then apparently the question is, well, how long
and then you can get more cash for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting all this cash but I have nothing to do with.
But I have a cape.
Well, you do have a cape.
It really is the perfect time to talk about the Simpsons clip.
But she's got a new hat.
At the end of all of this, I have a cape and I have some new stickers I can put on my base.
Cash, you can
is that the only way you can get a cape by doing this?
Yeah. Oh well, that cape. You can only way you get that cape.
Oh, that cape. There's other capes,
and
it
carries over. It carries over. So if you were to play this game with me, you'd see me wearing this cape, and you would.
We should never.
That cape is so cool.
You would never wear. Have you never seen The Incredibles? Like, don't wear a cape. It's like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
in The Incredibles.
Yeah, it is.
You get sucked into a
You're asking for trouble, Duke.
Yeah.
You're asking for
trouble.
So
the expedition was awesome. I can't wait until the next one. It's ridiculous because but here's the other thing. They did a very good job.
There's another thing.
At the end of it, they because that fight with the Sentinels was like, and then but that was the end of the 5th step of the expedition. There's 6 in all. Oh, no. That was the end of like the 4th one. And then the 5th step was just like, make it to the center of the galaxy, find the pirate treasure, leave the galaxy, which is they just reset you to another thing. And I thought I might lose my ship, but fortunately I still have my ship. I was like, okay, good. And then it's like set up a new base on your new planet. So all that stuff in the final step took like 20 minutes. And it was very easy and it was fun and it was very satisfying. But you know what I mean? It wasn't, I thought it was going to be even more difficult stuff ahead, but it was a nice, it's like level 10 in Galaga. It's like a nice little breather at the end of the expedition.
Does anybody want to take a guess at what year No Man's Sky came out?
6 years ago, wasn't it? 2016?
Stu?
I'm going to go earlier. I'm going to go 2015, I think.
One of you is correct.
Well,
who knew?
The smartest one.
Oh, Duke.
Oh, man.
Duke is the man.
Oh, wait. Oh, hey.
I didn't actually mean that. I just wanted you to argue of like, well, I'm the smartest. It was
No, I know
it's not
Deuce
fair
is
for you to ask me
smartest
that
one.
because
2016.
every time you start up the game, it says copyright Hello Games 2016.
Oh, there you go.
6 years ago.
6 years, and it's
6
still
years.
getting better.
It does
and better
feel
and-
longer. It does feel longer somehow.
It won an
Yeah, and
award. It won an award for best game award for best ongoing game.
Well, it
Well,
should do. That's what they've done.
I think this is the best. Is there a better redemption story in all of it?
No.
I don't think so. No, I think
no.
And not only because they've added to it, because a lot of game developers are adding with DLC and stuff, but this started out so low in terms of people hating
Yeah,
it.
but look how many games
They
have
had nowhere to
started
go
out
but up.
low and
Right.
stayed
And then
there.
they just said, well, screw it. Let's start
Yeah,
the
screw
next
that.
one,
I'm not
or
wasting
let's
any more
give
money
up.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they believed in their vision, and
They
the
did.
problem was only when they put it out.
So I've
If
got a
they'd put it
list.
out a
I've
year
got a
after,
list here.
actually-
I've got a list. A list.
Well,
A
failed
list
games.
Of games that failed on launch and then
Okay.
recovered.
Okay, let's see if any of them come close.
Go on then.
to
Let's
No Man's
see.
Sky.
Go on then.
So yeah.
And of course, this is the type of thing that only can happen in the internet age, because when the NES was out, there's no way a bad game. They couldn't fix ET.
So I don't know this was a thing. Remember All Points Bulletin? Remember that?
Yeah.
APB.
APB?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So in 2011 that came out with a free-to-play model, but then
I remember they
was-
tried to fix it.
In 2016 and
remember anything
17 it came out. That never recovered. Okay, great.
That never recovered because
No.
that was made by the dudes who
I remember
did
they tried.
the-
Okay,
people weren't buying it.
sorry. Games that never
Okay,
recovered
sorry.
are right at the
Oh,
bottom.
Wow, that's very different.
So games that never recovered are
Go on,
All
give us
Points
some of those.
APB,
Yeah, terrible.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, the newer one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fallout
It was
70,
better than the first
Fallout 76, Duke?
I would
think
say that
that's
did recover. When did
recovered.
this list come out, Chinny?
I don't feel like that has
but
recovered
it's-
slightly.
That has recovered.
I don't know. I don't know when it came
Well,
out. Where does it tell you at the
I
bottom?
mean, because I think if you looked at 76 a year after it came out, yeah, you would say it didn't recover. But now it's been like 3 years now, and I think it has recovered.
I don't know where
Let's
it tells
find out
you.
when Fallout 76
This was 2020.
Okay. Yeah, because 76 came out in 2018, and I think by 2020 it had not recovered.
Yeah.
But when Wastelanders came out, I think that changed the game.
So of course, actually, there is one that beats No Man's Sky, but I'll tell you about it. But this isn't it. Street Fighter 5 apparently had a bad launch and then recovered. I remember that sort of vaguely being true. This is a good one. The Halo Master Chief Collection was a disaster when it came out, and then they fixed it all. Apparently, Final Fantasy 14 when it came out was not very good, but it's like a phenomenon now. Final Fantasy 14, it's like this mad MMO.
That's because it
often
gets
recommended when
good.
people look for MMOs.
It gets good when you're like 35 hours in.
Middle-earth Shadow of War, because I think there's a big problem with
They took out the microtransactions, but it's still not. I mean, it's a lot better now.
A
but I
lot
was
of
still
these
frustrated by it.
games were screwed by the microtransactions, weren't they?
But No Man's Sky is top of this list, but I think this is a better one. You ready?
Go on.
I'm ready.
Think about where this game was. Do we remember where this game was when it first got announced?
Right.
Then it came out and everybody was like, this is shit, to where this game is now.
Okay.
Evolve.
There is no better redemption story than this.
Go on. Come on.
You want a drum roll?
Yes. Go on.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that.
I mean, in terms of I wouldn't call
money
it a great
making
game
phenomenon,
now, but it certainly has made a lot of money.
Like you think about you talk about a game that broke cultural barriers.
Yeah.
I heard a CEO of a massive company talk about Fortnite in like a speech. He's like, "Oh, my son's playing Fortnite." I'm like, Jesus Christ, this game just goes.
Do you know what though? If it wasn't for Fortnite, there would be no Epic's game store.
Exactly.
There would be no Epic Game Store.
They made so much money that they just steamed it.
Yeah, have some games. Have a free game every week.
They changed their business model.
What's free this week? That's the only reason I go to Epic Games.
Fortnite is so big.
If Steam goes down, I need to play Rocket League. I can play it on the Epic Games Store.
Fortnite is so big that they had enough money to take on Valve.
Yeah,
that's
it's
insane.
An absolute juggernaut.
It is insane.
So when you look at games that were like,
Original development, wasn't it? Cliffy B who originally developed that.
Correct.
He must sit there and think.
Well, they released. I don't know if you remember, but Cliffy
I wonder
B
if he still has any money. Gets any money
no,
from
he doesn't.
that?
No, he left the company. So, but Cliffy B.
Terraforming Mars is free on Epic Games.
So Cliffy B, shortly after that, made a battle royale game. Do you remember what that was called?
Yeah, terrible. I can't remember what it was called, but I know it was terrible.
It was called Radical Heights.
Oh yes, I do remember that. And it was the hook it was this sort of cyberpunky type thing, wasn't it?
Because he made a kind of first-person shooter, Overwatch clone as well. And he's just had sort of like failure after failure. Really,
he just ran out of ideas, didn't he?
Well, it's almost like his ideas are good, but he's just a little bit late out the gate.
Yeah, he peaked with Gears of War. Let's be honest.
But yeah, Cliff Blazinski. He's a man that never caught up with his fame after his success with Gears of War. He lost creative control. He was going to work on an Aliens first-person shooter. He was going to work on Silent Hills, the Hideo Kojima thing that never happened, which was PT. When Radical Heights was introduced, it attracted a few big names like Dr. Disrespect and Ninja and Shroud, and then it just had bad reviews.
He's a bit
Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers was his other game.
Yeah, Lawbreakers. He's a bit of a poison chalice, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No one's going to touch him now, are they? They're going to be like, oh,
I just think like Gears of. I mean, when you think about it, he stole the cover system from another game. Now this is him talking now. Like he sort of stole it, and he was just ahead of the game there. Like no one had really done a cover system like that before, and he changed everything. But with Lawbreakers and with Radical Heights, I think Radical Heights actually was his last hurrah. Like he made Lawbreakers, it was a huge flop, and then he put all his last bit of money in Radical Heights, and he was like, well, if this just goes bust, then whatever. I think he's okay. I don't think he's.
No, I think money wise he'll be okay, but I bet he's a bit pissed off.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, what's interesting? Cliffy B and Epic Games helped to shape the Xbox 360, didn't they? Let's not forget.
Yeah, I mean, like, would the 360 be where it is without Gears of War?
Well, not only that,
I bought one.
Not only that, but when they were first developing the 360, they were going to put 256 megabytes of RAM in it. And basically, Epic Games went down and said, right, this is Gears of War, what we're developing for your console. This is how it runs on your 256 megabytes of RAM. This is how it'll run on 512 megabytes. And that's what made the decision for them to up the amount of RAM that it had.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been 256, and it may have been struggling.
Yeah.
You know? And when you think about that, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? We're saying, oh, it had 512 megabytes, and now, most consoles, gaming computers were into 32 gigabytes, or 16 gigabytes of RAM. Like super fast RAM as well. It's just ridiculous how much stuff has changed since the 360.
There's a funny talking about Cliffy B on this article. They talk about Dennis Dyack. Do you remember who Dennis Dyack is?
Yeah, Dennis Dyack, Too Human.
So he's very similar story to Cliffy B.
That was a huge fail
because he made Eternal Darkness, which is one of the greatest games on the GameCube.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal game. And then he just had this absolute roll of shit that like Too Human, the X-Men game that no one played, Metal Gear Solid 2 remake, like these weird, like, what is he doing? And Too Human was just an absolute piece of shit.
Yep.
Fun
All right, so
stuff.
Stu, what do you got next?
I have one more game to talk about, which is Green Hell.
Green Hell. This is a survival game where you can get sick.
Yes, there is a normal non-VR version that's been out for quite a while, which gets really good reviews on Steam. But this is the Quest 2 VR version.
Oh yeah.
Standalone. It's don't need a PC to run it and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what? I don't usually play these types of games. I don't play, survival horror type survival games because this is like some weird. You're dumped in the middle of an Amazon rainforest, and there's some weird tribes that are trying to kill you. And you've just got to basically try and survive and escape from the Amazon. And I'm quite impressed so far. I mean, it doesn't do a great job. It does a kind of all right job of telling you what to do. But what a lot of people, and luckily I've read quite a few of the reviews, and people are like going, oh, this game's terrible because it doesn't tell you. that you can't save until you build a shelter.
Sorry, what are you playing, Stu? What was the name of the game?
Green Hell.
Green Hell VR.
Right.
Green Hell. Yeah, so you can't save the game until you build a shelter. So people have started playing it for an hour.
Now, I'm sure you don't want to hear this, but that's kind of, I mean, it's not the case. No, it is the case in Minecraft. You make a bed, and then that's where you're going to respawn. You make a sleeping bag in Rust. That's where you're going to respawn.
That's great, dude. But this is a story narrative game.
Okay.
So there's a story and everything, so you can play for an hour.
It's obnoxious for me to bring it up because, you know, how would you necessarily... The game should tell you that, I suppose.
Yeah, it's slightly different, though, because in this game, if you don't obviously build a shelter and save and then quit, you start right back from the beginning again. So you'll have to spend another hour doing the whole beginning of the game again. Yeah, so it's kind of quite an interesting game because at the beginning, you've got a machete, you've got like a proper tent, solar panels, you know, all that kind of good stuff. All the good stuff are in the Amazon rainforest. You know, you got food, you got water, you got a bonfire,
duvet,
duvet, a bed. It's all great.
Amazon Prime giving you
Amazon
stuff.
Prime. You've got you know,
milkshakes.
telly, but then shit goes down and things go bad, and the next thing you know, you've got nothing. You haven't got a shelter. The machete is gone. Oh, it all goes to pot, man.
Oh,
it literally goes to pot. So what you've got to do then, it does give you a stone axe. So it says, oh, put this stone with this twine and twig, and you got yourself an axe.
Sure.
So it does tell you how to build an axe, you know, early on. And then you can build a shelter, which I did. Because I'd seen the reviews and was like, I need to build a shelter and save before I finish playing this game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. So I've sort of explored. I've chopped down trees, and guess what, dude? They fall.
Hey, how about
trees fall. What's kind of cool though, they fall into big logs, and you've got to hit the logs to get sticks. And then you
this
hit
sounds
the
like
sticks
Stranded Deep.
twigs.
Remember Stranded Deep, that game?
Yeah,
that I was obsessed with?
I think you would probably like this, Chinny, because it is that kind of game. You know,
yeah, but I've got to play it in VR.
Well, you don't.
No, there's a non-VR version.
You can buy it on Steam and play it, I guess, if you wanted to.
No, I've got to play it on
I don't
Steam.
know if you would like this. I think Stranded Deep was an anomaly for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I just like being on a desert island.
Well, this is kind of, it's not a desert island, but it is kind of like that. You know, it's palm trees and bananas and stuff.
If it was the bananas part of it that you liked, then
bananas.
Well, there wasn't any bananas in
you can
Stranded
make
Deep,
bandages
so.
bandages out of some weird plant.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fucking things that want to kill you. So there's like snakes, spiders, I don't know, leopards. There's all sorts of shit.
Yes.
That's going to rip your face off or poison you or kill you. So I'm playing it on kind of don't get killed mode. So there's 4 modes. There's a very easy tourist mode where nothing can harm you and there's nothing. I'm playing on the next level up where you're not going to get attacked by the natives or like leopards and stuff. But if you walk into danger, that's your own lookout. So as long as you avoid danger, you're all right. But there is still danger.
Sounds like Wolverhampton.
Does sound like Wolverhampton. So yeah, it's pretty good. I can, at the moment, I'd sort of give it a tentative recommendation.
What would you give a review noise for?
At the moment, I'm like, that's probably
like a creaky door.
Yeah, it's probably a decent representation of how I feel.
There's a bit of hope at the end there, Stu.
The biggest complaint people seem to have is that they're like, oh, the map's not big enough. It's not a big enough area to explore. But then I'm like, it's on a Quest 2. What are you expecting?
That's no excuse.
It's on a phone, man. It's running on a phone.
No.
But yeah,
it was based on the original game. So
So it's still, I'm assuming
same size, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm assuming the story's still similar. I'm assuming the original game probably had a much bigger area to explore. But yeah, your girlfriends. I didn't mention the girlfriend. So the girlfriend's there.
What does she do?
Well, she's like an anthropologist who wants to try and communicate with the local tribe people.
Jesus Christ, she's dead.
Which is always a recipe for disaster.
Dead.
Always the women doing that. The men are going to
tent-
save everything. The women are naive and stupid, thinking you can communicate with people. I would love to see a game where you actually communicate with people. And the second I guess this is kind of Undertale. the second you start pulling out your weapons and pointing guns at people, then you die. But if you talk to people, then it's like, okay, let's make some progress. Because that's the way it is in the real world, but whatever.
The only thing I would say, I knew there was going to be problems because at the beginning of the game, you're in your tent and there's a picture of tribespeople with skulls painted on their faces.
Dude.
And it says something like, mystery tribe, could be trouble, or something like that on this picture.
Look friendly.
So yeah, I'm guessing there's something to do with the disappearance of my girlfriend.
Oh, she's disappeared. She never.
Yeah, she's gone. That's once you lose all your shit, you've got to try and find out what happened to her.
Free love on the free love, free. She's gone. She's not dead. She's
dead.
She's not dead.
Gone.
She's not dead.
She's gone.
And
like
all of them
Ashley,
are you. What you? No.
No, you.
No, it's like the video. No, it sounds a bit gay. It's not gay. Free love on the free love freeway.
The heather is free. The sex is free. The heather is £2.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's good. It's 22 quid though, so it's not the cheapest game on the store.
Yeah.
Gotta say. But so far so good. I've not thought about refunding it, so that's a positive, I guess. I haven't gone.
Yes. It's so good. I haven't thought about refunding.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm not like
It's
asking me cash back yet.
I'm not currently trying to get rid of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I got 2 more real quick.
Go.
All right.
One we mentioned last. Stu is the one who told me about this one from last week.
Oh God, yeah.
Turbo Golf Racing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
A game that is on Steam. It is very clearly trying to be Rocket League, except golf. And it's not a lot of fun. It's a fine idea, I guess.
What do you try, Stu? What do you try?
I try, Chinny. I don't know why I bother.
Because it gives us something interesting to talk about on the show. Imagine if people came through without having played anything. That would be boring.
So,
it does a good thing of, if it has a healthy ball, you hit it, it goes very far. If you land on the fairway, quote unquote, then it goes further and you go faster when you're on the fairway. So it behooves you to do that, but it's hard to get it on the fairway. There's this big pillar, and if you get the ball basically near that, then it just sucks it into the hole, which is nice because it would be very annoying if you had to get it precise.
So is it doing it by time?
Well, that's the thing is that when you start it, you play solo for a little bit in order to figure out the mechanics, and there is a timer on that. So in order to move on to the next hole,
just checking. What? Is there a double jump? I'm just checking.
Sort of. In order to get to the next hole, you have to beat a certain time.
Right.
So you basically end up doing it a few times.
Does it count your shots?
No, it doesn't. It's just based on time. Right. There are a whole bunch of things you can sort of add on to your vehicle to make you go faster, more boost and things like that. I didn't really get into any of that. I finished the tutorial. There is when you hit it, then you can, engage the boost. The boost isn't as fluid as in Rocket League, and the ball mechanics aren't as good. So in Rocket League, if you sideswipe, like I have played a few hours of Rocket League, as you may know.
They've added up.
I've gotten to the point where I know exactly where the ball's going to go based on which corner of the car I tap it with. With this game, it's not going anywhere if you tap it with the corner of your car. Like the ball, you have to put some weight into it. But if you put too much weight into it, it goes flying.
Oh, yeah. I can see it. Yeah.
The mechanics aren't as fluid as Rocket League.
It's
now,
not,
on the other hand,
finessed, is it, with the physics?
It's not as finessed. But on the other hand, that might just be because I haven't played it enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be that the mechanics.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to play exactly the same, is it? Really?
I know, but like,
I was expecting it to.
Yeah, that's the standard though. That's the bar, isn't it?
It is the standard. But on the other hand, like, look, there's these, portals, right? You hit the ball through a portal. I guess it goes kind of like a mini golf course. It'll land really close to the hole. So I played a few, and that's nice, but I didn't really mess with it because it's got to be hard to get the ball into that portal. You know what I mean? So I just didn't bother with it. So I played a couple of rounds with other people. I managed to finish usually in the middle of the pack. And in that one, you're competing with everybody else to like get it in the hole first, right?
So it's not like against each other in real time.
It's asynchronous.
It is against each other.
No,
in real time.
It is again. You can see.
No, but I mean, like in Rocket League, you're obviously playing like a game of football. But obviously in this game, it's not like you're not like sort of competing for the same ball, are you?
No, you're not competing for the same ball, but you are competing for the same hole. You're trying to win in terms of
it's like somebody took golf with friends and Rocket League and smushed them.
I mean, it says on the tin it's racing, and which it is. But that's not why I like golf. You know what I mean? A golf video game is fun because it's you can take your time. There's nothing you don't take your time at all in this. Woo, Tara!
Cake time!
Cake time. What kind of cake? It looks like a raspberry filling.
Cherry.
Oh, cherry cake.
Tara, you'll be glad to know that the cake won the poll recently. There was a poll, cake or pie, and I don't remember what the margin was, but cake won by quite a bit.
On Twitter, and it's cake or pie. You did?
Yeah.
And
that was the most recent. Oh, that was oh yeah, cake won 59% to 41%.
Ooh, it's close. It was close enough, I think.
That was pretty close, and there were 22 votes on that. So 22.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, my darling.
Yeah, thank you, Tara, for the cake.
Duke said thank you, even though he doesn't have any of the cake. So.
Send some over here.
One day to be able to bake a cake for Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
So Turbo Golf Racing, like it looks good. It plays okay. The beta is free, so you can get into it very easily. It's worth a giggle, I suppose. If you think you might like it, it can't hurt to try it. But I'm not giving it a startling review. I'm probably going to uninstall it because that's the thing. I played a few rounds at the beginning of the week when I got in, basically the day we did, last Sunday. As soon as we finished, I uploaded the show and did the work I needed to do. Then I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. I played a few rounds, and I kept thinking, I'll go back and play it. I'll play it some more. I'll play it. I never went back and played it anymore.
It's like, you know what? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, would you just play golfing with friends? But it does seem to offer something different because driving is fun.
Yeah.
Mini golf is fun.
Yeah.
So it is. It looks
and
okay.
Maybe you'd like it. I don't know. You should give it a shot, Chinny. Let's see what you think.
Yeah, but I just think it would be fun with friends. That's where
it could be.
Golfing with friends is named perfectly because
Oh, yeah.
the game knows that mini golf. Everybody knows mini golf. Everybody knows mini golf is
Nobody goes mini golfing by themselves.
no. And if you do, you've got to question.
You're a serial killer or a child molester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So anyway, that's Turbo Golf Racing. Don't bother.
I mean, have you ever seen anybody mini golf by themselves, Duke? Sorry.
No.
I can't say that I have.
And
I've done it in VR. Does that count?
No. But if
Yes,
you do,
serial killer.
if you do, you should call the police on that person.
Okay. I will bear that in mind.
Last game I will talk about real quick is called Peglin. And I think it's supposed to be Peggle Goblin. That's my guess.
All right, I was going to say there must be some Peggle involved in this.
There is Peggle involved. It's an RPG with Peggle for the combat. And if that sounds like it might be kind of interesting and a unique approach to the game, it's
fun.
not.
No.
No.
I mean, look, I wrote in my notes. Would Peggle stand up today?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally it would.
Okay. Because I played 3 rounds of this, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so bored. Like, look, maybe the design of the pegs isn't very good, because I think that'll be a deal breaker. But I was so bored in this game. Like, it's designed in such a way so that no matter where you send the ball, pretty much, you're going to defeat the monsters, at least in the early rounds. And, again, it does this thing where it tries to throw a whole bunch of stuff into the mix. And this came out, I think, 2 years ago or something, but there was some developer sale. That's the thing on Steam nowadays is like every day it's like this developer sale, that developer sale. They had a Going Rogue sale where all the roguelikes were on sale. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway.
I think it's the aesthetics are the problem with this game.
Nah, well, not for me, they're not. But whatever. It does the thing of like, there's a different kind of ball you can throw. There's a different kind of, this thing that you throw will reset the bomb placement. If you get a bomb, it blows up the stuff near it and all of that. And, you knocking out enough pegs and you do damage to the enemies at the top of the screen and stuff. And whatever, it worked well enough. I just sat there going, this is just boring. I want to be whacking them with a sword instead of bouncing pegs around. I think Peggle is fine by itself. I don't know. I should go back and play it to see what I think about that game. But I think that making it a means to an end feels weird to me. It just seems like that's a bad idea, because Peggle's fine by itself. Let's say that it is. It could also be that we were just crazy about it for once upon a time.
No, I think what Peggle did really well is every time he introduced a new character, he had a new power to use as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he did a really good job of scaling as you.
And the ode to joy when you win.
Ode to joy.
yeah,
No,
sure.
you can't beat it.
Right. And maybe that's just, this game needs more stuff like that, but it's
And
trying.
this game's not very shiny. It's very sort of dull.
No, that's why I said it aesthetically it doesn't look appealing.
Yeah, but I'm saying it now, Stu.
I've already said that. It just doesn't look
I think it would be
joyful.
nice if the viewers
I
could
mean,
see and make up their
Peggle's
own mind,
joyful.
but I guess, it's a bit much to ask to put it
Oh,
on.
fucking hell. I've
this
literally
just
just
doesn't
forgot to press the button.
Joyful.
Sorry.
It's cute. If you like Peggle, you might like it. I don't know. Give it a try.
I don't know what
There's
you're
a demo.
gonna.
It's free demo.
I don't know what you're gonna.
And at the end of the thing, you fire the ball to the left or the right to decide where you'll go next on the map. Everything about it works fine. It's just I was bored. So
I don't blame you for being bored.
It looks boring.
It does.
It's funny, isn't it?
how
Because
is-
it's the same game.
yeah, exactly. It's Peggle.
Yeah, it isn't though, is it?
Well, it's not, but I don't think.
I think Peggle's bright and colourful and charming
Full and well
fun.
designed. This looks like a knockoff version that's not very
This
good.
looks like you're playing Peggle in hell.
Yeah, it does. It does. It
That's
just doesn't
fine.
look very good.
I never thought of the aesthetics of Peggle as being. I thought.
Oh,
it was the
that's a
gameplay.
huge part of that game.
I mean, I guess I didn't think it would be.
Even
that
all the
different.
characters and
Does
stuff,
it make
which is
like?
part of
Does
the
it make
aesthetics.
noises when you hit the thing?
Less damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for it. Why not?
I bet it's not as good a noise even though.
Well, it probably isn't. I'm not going to argue that the aesthetics here are not as good as the aesthetics on.
I don't
Peggle.
think they
It's
are.
just-
I think this is the issue.
Gameplay is boring as hell, and I think
It looks
gameplay of
boring.
Peggle would probably be boring. If I
No,
was
it's
back.
not.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna.
How
play it by
dare
next week
you?
and we'll
How
we'll
dare
make
you?
it.
should all
When's
play
the last time
Peggle
you played
next
it?
week.
Let's go play
Yeah.
Peggle. I've still got
I'm
my
gonna
game
play
on
it,
PS4.
Not draped out on my computer. I'm gonna.
We have got some emails though, so that's good news.
Hey,
This'll
our
cheer you up.
complaining worked. We got
Emails,
some
people.
emails. Oh snap! I never had Peggle on this. I had it on the Xbox.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna buy
that
Peggle.
ruled.
So we've got emails, right?
We
But
have,
if people
we have.
want to email the show,
$5.
what do they do, Stu?
They send an email to podcast@veterangamers.co.uk.
That's podcast@veterangamers.co.uk. You just do it on your email.
Yeah, it's very
It takes a
simple, like
second.
these people did. Podcast
Yeah.
at Veteran Gamers.
You wanna leave
Just
a
send us
speech?
They're
a,
not
just
cooler
a
than you, are
question.
they?
Just
How
send us a
dare you
question.
say
It
that
doesn't
just
even
a
have to be a
question.
long email. Just say question. It'll be fine.
Yeah, just a simple question.
Just one question.
Just
Just
one
send
question. So right,
Yeah.
emails.
It takes 5 seconds.
Go
Do it
for it.
now.
that. But
we move
everybody who sends an email for next week's show with just one
It's
question.
500 quid.
No.
Yeah.
We'll get a special shout out off Chinny. So every person who sends one, special shout out off Chinny. That if that isn't encouragement enough, I don't know what is.
Well, we know obviously that's a lie. So why would
No,
anyone
no,
believe
it's true. Don't tell them it's a lie, otherwise they'll not do it. What's the matter with you?
you? I was trying to give him $500.
Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, here's the first. The first one from this week is called A Raging Fart. Can you guess who it's from?
Jason Gullahart.
How did you know?
Hey.
All the kids in Springfield are SOBs.
He says this: the Depp stroke Heard trial. During
Yes.
testimony, a woman farted
God damn,
on
I thought I could
mic
get away from this shit on this podcast. No,
And-
you got to deal with it here
and
too, Duke.
immediately claimed ownership. I assume because the judge witnessed it in all its glory. Jason, that's it. That's the email.
Nice.
I thought you said there was a question.
No, that is it.
Oh.
That's his email. Whole email.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jason.
Mega point.
I,
really appreciate you
I wasn't
writing in.
aware of this here fart, so I have been informed now. So thank you for that, I guess.
I wish somebody would. On TikTok, somebody animated parts of the trial, and but
All
they've
right,
animated
okay.
it really funny, and it's
Right.
it's unbelievable how funny it is, and it's just, like you just got to look at it like animated.
Well, let's be honest. We've got two actors
yeah,
on a stand acting
yeah.
who knows what the truth
It's
is
like
in
you,
all of
but
this.
you've got to cook your way out of lying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is the truth in all this?
Wow,
Who
that could
knows?
be very exciting. Oh,
could be.
of lying. I thought you said a lion.
Right, okay, next email
Inside a
tonight
lion cooking and stuff.
is off the very coolly named Gary Walker Jones, double
What
barrel
up,
name.
Gary Walker? Have you ever
Gary
heard from
Walker
this person before? Is this a first-time emailer?
I feel like, no, he's emailed us before. I feel
Okay.
like Gary is
Good to hear from you again.
you know, like I imagine this is how he talks. Hi, I'm Gary Walker Jones.
That sounds
Hello.
exactly like you. What are you doing a voice there?
Hello.
I'm Gary Walker
I'm
Jones.
Gary Walker Jones.
Oh, would you like to share some champagne with me?
Greet gamers from
Well, anyway, he says, hola.
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 Greets gamers from sunny Portugal.
Ooh.
That's where he is, remember?
Bon dia.
Well, I am doing my part with an email with a couple of game recommendations and a couple of questions.
Okay.
Hope
You know,
this
it's funny,
passes.
since you mentioned Portugal, I should say, I spent a month in Brazil in 1996, and I learned a little bit of Portuguese while I was there. You ready?
Oh, God, here we go.
Now falo Português. So there you go.
There you go.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Duke.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was worth interrupting the flow of the email for that.
That guy's going to be happy. I'm speaking to him in his native tongue, so why don't you shut your mouth?
He's not Portuguese. He just lives there.
Well, how do you know he's not Portuguese?
Because he isn't. He comes from UK and he lives in Portugal.
Well, he speaks Portuguese probably if he's living
Well,
there.
he might know a little bit. Anyway.
Maybe he's a
better know
massive
it.
racist and he doesn't want to speak Portuguese. Duke?
Maybe.
You could not speak Portuguese and also be a racist. Wait, you could speak Portuguese and be a racist.
I think.
Anyway,
Go on.
he says.
Stop dilly-dallying.
Right, read the
Exactly.
email, Stu. Read the email.
Oh my God, I'm going to start headbutting the mic in a minute. I hope this mail passes a Gmail junk filter without any warnings. No, it didn't. I've got to be careful with this message. It could be spam. You couldn't verify this Walker
See,
Jones
this still
person.
sounds like you're reading the email. You know, about
Anyway.
breaking the flow of the email.
No,
So
I am.
we talked about this.
Firstly, well,
He gets
now
mad at us.
we're getting to the meat of the email now.
Here we go.
Ooh, the meat of the email.
Firstly, happy birthday, Stu. Congrats on the 50th. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. 50
Eu
years.
amo video games. Really? That's how you say video games in Portuguese?
There you go. Last Sunday, I was browsing through the games on Game Pass for Xbox and noticed a puzzle game in the Games with Gold section called Hue, which, Duke, I believe you played Hue.
Hue? What?
Hue. That's the one we
Oh,
were keep
HUE.
changing it.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a great
we changed
game.
it
I
to
very much thumbs up.
He says it was a quick download and started up around 2 p.m. and didn't move from the sofa until the game was completed at 7 p.m.
Oh, damn.
Sim jogo divertido.
Stop it.
Stop it now.
I'm not
Dude,
using Google Translate.
Stop
What are you
it.
talking
Stop it.
about?
Stop it.
You're impressing no one.
No, you're not.
I'm impressing all the babes in Portugal.
No, you're impressing yourself, and that's about as far as it
Well,
goes.
that's the most important babe of all.
Yeah.
Me faça parar.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
burn. I just put you in your place.
Okay, thank you. It's a great puzzle game with a really good theme, which starts off simple, but pretty soon ramps up to have you scratching your head, especially in the latter stages. It looks fantastic, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, and well
right.
worth checking out, unless you are colorblind, in which case
Well,
you
yeah.
have no chance.
Bamdito.
Yeah, well, I saw Hugh at the same time I saw Super Hot at an EGX, and no one knew what those games were. They were in the indie section, and
And they both became equally successful.
I think
Yeah.
Super Hot probably tipped
Super-
it there a
yes.
little bit.
Yes,
But
I think so.
But yeah, I remember Hugh, and I remember me and Marsh playing Hugh. So it must have been about 2017.
Yeah, it's a decent game.
Yeah, and it was all right because the background color changes, so you can change the object. So if an object is blue, and you change the background to blue, that object then disappears, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's quite a
never
clever game.
played it.
Anyway, he says, as usual, was listening to last week's show whilst walking the Dobby, which is the aesthetically challenged pooch. We've seen a picture, and that dog, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, Gary, but that dog is ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
UGLY, your dog ain't got no
sometimes
alibi.
ugly dogs are
ugly.
cute in a weird
All right.
kind of way.
The dog's ugly. We get it. Go on.
Yeah, the dog's
Yeah,
ugly.
but you know
When
how-
the question arose about games to play with partners, so thought I would chip in with the ones Jules and I have enjoyed. We've
There
been
you go.
gaming for many, many years. Jules is in her 50s, and I joined the club in August. Oh, we see, we're all in the 50 club nearly. And we started off with the likes of Clandestiny, Seventh Guest, The 11th Hour, Return to Zork, Myst.
Wow, going Zort. That's old school.
Myst, etc.
Yeah,
These types of games
classic.
seems to have gone out of favor, unfortunately. But the one recent game that comes to mind was The Witness, which we played for a few months, completing all of the puzzles. And
just want to get a chance to show off my Myst book.
God,
yeah.
Showing his Myst book.
Showing his Myst book.
Hey, you spent $7 million on Gloomhaven. I spent $7 million on this Myst book.
Yeah, you did.
Look, it even works as a Myst book. When you open it up, it plays the well, it would. Oh God, it's still charged. I didn't think it was charged.
I can't believe that. That's impressive.
How about that? Sorry, go on.
Not only that, dude, but actually I can play a game with Gloomhaven. You can't play a game with that. That's just ridiculous.
That would be cool, though. That's the next step. They're gonna release a book at some point that you can actually play the game Myst in the book.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Not yet, but someday.
These games have gone out of favor, unfortunately. But the one recent game that comes to mind was The Witness, which we played for a few months, completing all of the puzzles. These guys must be brainy, because that game made my brain melt.
They should play the Patrick puzzle.
Yeah, Patrick's ParaBox.
ParaBox, that's it.
Is that something you can play together, though?
Oh,
I think
sure.
so.
I mean,
yeah.
as much as you can play Myst together. Like,
Yeah. You could be like,
type
do
thing.
that. Shut up. Why'd you never do what I say? Fuck you.
I'm leaving. Fuck you.
Do you know what, Duke? I still think you should play The Witness, because you've never played it. Have you got that on your list? I'm sure someone gifted you that game.
He's walked off.
I know, he does that all the time, doesn't he?
I was cleaning up some stuff off my desk. I heard some people say it's basically the same puzzle over and over, and I know that's probably not accurate.
No, it isn't. No, it's
that made me want to stay away.
Theme on the same puzzle.
Okay, well, at some point someone will gift it to me, and I'll probably not play it, but maybe
it's definitely not the same puzzle.
They should offer it for free on this Epic Game Store. How much is it on Steam?
I think it was been free on something at some point.
Oh,
we played that
for free.
That for a few. Are you sure you've not got it on your list somewhere?
$40. I ain't paying no $40 for a puzzle game. Are you nuts?
We played that for a few months. For a few months, Duke. Months they played this game for.
Well, I've been playing Patrick's Puzzle ParaBox for a few months.
Completing all the puzzles, and can really recommend it. Another one is Tetris in all its many flavors. We played Tetris Effect, Puyo Puyo Tetris in competitive mode, and old Wii Sports. We need to try the new Switch Sports. Do you guys have any modern puzzle game recommendations in the same vein as The Witness, 7 Guests? The type of games with a story where you need a pen and paper to work out the puzzles.
Most of them don't require pen and paper anymore. I'm trying to think of best puzzle games. Like, the puzzle games I've been playing lately are like just like a screen, and you do things on the screen. I haven't played a story puzzle game.
Her Story. We mentioned Her Story last week.
Yeah, Her Story is really good for that sort of thing.
If you really want to torture yourself and get a divorce, why don't you play the shape-shifting detective like me and Stu?
That's me and Chinny played that. We loved that game.
Which is basically Her Story.
Let me look in my Steam library and see what I put under the puzzle.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Might be a good laugh though.
Yeah, be a good laugh. You can't beat those types of games. Anyway. And finally, I have picked up a Quest 2, mainly for Microsoft Flight Simulator use, but would like some of your thoughts.
Wait. What are the ones? There's like 4 of them. I gifted you one, Stu.
You did?
The box. Or was it the box? Is it called
The
box?
Room.
The Room.
It is the room. Oh, those are good.
The Room's good.
That's
the
really,
VR
I mean,
one.
the story.
The Room on VR is great.
There's Room 1, 2, and 3. The 4 is out. I've never played it, but I did give it to Stu, so he can.
You did, and I've never played it.
Swapper's a good puzzle game with a story. Tiny and Big. Someone gifted me Tiny and Big. That was kind of cute.
Portal Co-op, anyone?
Yeah, Portal Co-op is great. I imagine he's played that, but maybe he hasn't.
Portal 2 Co-op is brilliant.
Portal 2 Co-op is one of the best co-op games ever made.
And it's a puzzle
Push
game.
is a good puzzle game. It's not got a story, but it's.
Yeah.
Mushroom 11, man. You know,
anyway, he says,
Mushroom 11 again.
what are your thoughts on the must-have standalone games on the Quest 2? I remember you mentioning Open Brush.
Your guys. Yeah. There's one person who has thoughts.
So, poker is the
poker, definitely.
So he says,
doesn't he?
Walkabout mini golf. What is the poker games that you play? Any other
Poker Stars VR. We need to play that again. We haven't played it for ages.
So poker's free. Poker Stars VR is free, Gary. So just get that download. And get it
I'm
going.
Roulette now, isn't it? Roulette was quite good fun.
That was fun, wasn't it? Remember
it was. Roulette was pretty good fun.
Yeah, we need to get. Yeah, let's get Gary on it. Come on, let's get Gary.
Come on, Gary. Let's get a game on.
If that is your real name. I think mini golf is good.
11 table tennis is good fun.
Yeah, I only played that once.
Quite a good sports
Pete,
sim.
but it's all right.
What else? Obviously, Super Hot VR
is good.
Hot VR is really good.
I think Beat Saber's worth a download.
Beat Saber definitely. Yeah, that's a bit of a no-brainer. What else is really good that I've played lately?
That bloody pool game was whack.
Oh, that pool game was good.
Shite.
The climb's pretty good fun.
No, Gary, no.
Get up, you. What do you know?
No.
The climb's pretty good fun. What else is pretty good? I'm trying to think.
Poker's top. Golf is good.
Top.
Golf is good.
Walkabout mini golf is a no-brainer.
Super Hot's good. Beat Saber's
Super
good.
Hot VR's good. Beat Saber's really good.
I like that music thing that you made me download.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
What was that
I can't
called?
remember what it was called now.
Fucking hell. You're getting...
I've played it.
You're getting to 50. I feel like I'm 50. I can't remember these names.
I'm old. Vermilion. Is it Vermilion?
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
No, that was the painting one.
Was that the painting one?
Oh,
that's the painting one. Virtuoso.
Virtuoso.
Virtuoso. It's just come to me in a flash of inspiration.
Bam. Still got it.
I know, only just.
I'd have never remembered that. Virtuoso. That was all right.
That's quite good fun if you want to just get on with get your jam on with some music. Puzzling Places is a definite. If you just want something relaxing and you like puzzle games, Puzzling Places is fucking brilliant.
Is there a Tetris effect in Quest 2?
Yes, there is. Tetris is on there as well. VR. But Puzzling Places, just in case you don't realize, is actually a 3D jigsaw puzzle game. And it's just awesome. And it sounds really weird, but you can put your head inside the jigsaws.
You need to get on. You need to get on the poker with us, Gary. Because
poker,
poker is like quite a special experience, isn't it? You play the VR games and you're like, yeah, these are fun.
It's a social experience.
But when you sit there on a poker table and you've got it'll be weird because you'll have me and Stu next to you. And we're just there
talking, and we look like us because we've got these weird avatars that look kind of like us.
I remember when I played the first time I played poker at EGX, I don't think I even really wore VR that much or anything, and I'm just sitting there, and I sort of realised that I had a mic. Like they were all talking to each other, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "Can you hear me?" And then everybody was just like, "Yeah, of course we can hear you." Like. What are you doing, you dickhead?
I'm like, oh, is this on?
Look, as soon as you have that realization, you're like, oh my god, I'm in the room. This is it. I'm in. So it's a bizarre sort of situation to.
It is weird, but it is fun. We've had some good laughs, and it was an absolute godsend during lockdown, wasn't it? I mean, the amount of times we played poker and it was like going out, weren't it? I got some beers.
Wasn't we on it every night or something?
We were on it a lot.
We were on it a lot.
We were on it a lot, weren't we? We used to just play all the time. Nicole would come along.
Because Nicole was on it every night.
Yeah, she was.
So every time you go on, Nicole would invite her, and we don't see Nicole now because we don't play poker with her.
Because we only see her when we play poker.
Yeah, and then every time we see her,
Light Matter. Light Matter is a really good puzzle game.
There you go.
If you like Portal, you'll like Light Matter.
Yeah. So
we'll sort something out.
I think poker is a special experience. I think it's a very, very unique experience that you don't get in many VR games. There's something bizarre and fun and surreal about it all.
Even the fact you can just if you get a dickhead joining the table, you can just blank them. Even that's.
But if you get a good mix of people on a table and you're just chatting and and then you meet somebody who's from literally down the road from you. Then you meet somebody who's in Australia. Then there's someone in America, and somebody comes in there blasting music, and you're like, "Oh, turn it down."
We've had all sorts of stuff.
And then you get a kid come in, and he just tries to slap everybody around the face, and it's a bizarre moment. Yeah,
it is. It is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, great.
I remember when John Nessie came in. Do you remember? He was only in very briefly.
He was stoned.
I think he was stoned because he was like, "Oh my god." Look at my
hands.
What
are you doing, guys?
He was tripping,
giggling all. He was just giggling all the time.
Very bizarre. But yeah, I think you got to try the poker. It's free as well. I haven't given that game a dime, Stu.
No, I haven't. I was really lucky because I had 2 really good spins.
Yeah, you keep getting $250,000 chips.
Yeah, I've had loads of chips for free.
But even if you don't, I mean, you doesn't really matter, does it? You get by.
No.
So. Yeah, I mean, when you enter that game, you enter a lobby, and then in the middle of the lobby, there's like a spin where you can win chips, and then you have to end. So it is a bit confused, a bit overwhelming when you first go in, but yeah, poker's the one.
Just to let you know, Gary, if you want to send a friend request to me, and then we can sort some shit out, my username is DJ-no-clue. So that's DJ with a hyphen next, then N-O, no, and then hyphen, and then C-L-U-E. DJ No Clue.
I don't know what my username. I think it's just Chinny, my username.
Yeah, it probably is. But send me a friend. Send us a friend request, and we'll get some poker on.
The last thing I played was Black Hole Pool 3 months ago.
Oh, so good that.
Black Hole Pool.
Is that 3 months ago? Get out of town.
3 months ago.
I can't fucking believe that's 3 months ago. That's ridiculous.
Mad.
And then he won't play again because I beat him. Ha ha. So there you go. As usual, thanks for the show. Keep up the great work. GWJ.
Hello.
Hello, DWJ. And then the final email this evening is from Louis Mortensen.
All right.
Yeah.
And he says, fine, I'll send an email.
Thank you.
I mean, don't fucking put yourself out there. Just saying.
Never mind that. Thank you for sending it.
Yeah, thanks for sending one. Hello, gamers. I've been listening to your conversations about the Mass Effect games, and it inspired me to play through them as well.
Wow.
Okay.
I have finished ME1 so far and started into Act 2 of ME2. One of the first... So he's obviously new to this. He's never played these games, I'm guessing. This is the first time.
Yeah.
Because then he goes on to say, one of the first things that struck me about ME1 was the UI design. It's kind of what you might expect from a Star Trek game UI. Not something you often see today with the trend of minimal UI presentation during gameplay.
Okay.
I had also completely forgotten about the Geth husks. No, he must have played it before then, hasn't he? Yeah. Mass Effect zombies that run around in circles before attacking by running towards the player with their arms held out in front of them. Mass Effect 1 featured interesting companion AI. My companions would run in front of my gun during firefights and try to shoot enemies through terrain and cover. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's an old game. It's not, you know, you're forgiving them things. You forgive it. I played it on PC with mods, Infinite Sprint, and Mako fixes, please, and thank you. In my time with ME2 so far, I have noticed that the AI has improved. Companions don't move between me and the enemy, and they shoot at cover less often. Enemies use more challenging tactics as well. I'm looking forward to playing through the rest of ME2 and finally finishing ME3. Lastly, I have some games to suggest.
Okay.
The first is Trek to Yomi, a 2D stroke 3D black and white samurai game that is only 3 hours long and available on Game Pass. The second is The Wandering Village. This game might be one Duke would be particularly interested in.
The Wandering
There is
Village.
a demo available on Steam, so you can play a demo. So have a go on that.
Downloading it now.
Have fun and keep on gaming, Lou Mortensen.
Thank you,
so
Lou.
Brilliant, thank you. He listened. He sent us an email. Everyone else should do that, shouldn't they? How would they do that, Chinny? Let's remind people.
All they got to do is go into their email client, whether it be Gmail or whatever else they use.
Yeah.
And they just go podcast@veterangamers.co.uk. Then they type in some random shit in the subject line and go, yo, why has Chinny got the best hair? Why isn't Stu grey yet?
I know. It's just a weird thing. I mean, Duke is more grey than I am.
Why is Duke keep playing terrible sound effects?
Terrible.
You know, why?
Why, oh, why, oh, why?
We want Chili Willy!
This is what you shouldn't tell people what you don't
Hey,
like.
McNulty was asked where he didn't want to go, and he said the boat, and guess where he ended up?
The boat.
Pick your favorite sound effect and tell me it's your least favorite.
Exactly. Right, on that note, I think it's time to do some shout-outs and get the hell
It's
out.
time for a shout-out. Hey!
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Duke.
I will shout out the SLH because she sent me a very good tweet. What the hell is going on over there, Duke? We have incompetence and self-interest running our country, but yours seems to be getting taken over by loads of right evil bastards. Yes, you're right, SLH. That is pretty much what's going on here. It's been that way for a while, but it seems to just get worse and worse all the time. So things are really bad here right now in a political sense. But I will also shout out everyone who's been interacting with my polls. I don't know. It's kind of annoying to have to come up with stuff, but on the other hand, it's fun to see people reacting to my polls. So today's poll is mushrooms or seashells. And let me look at, I don't know where it is right now. The last time I checked, mushrooms were up by a significant amount. Yeah, oh God, they're killing the seashells. 77% to 22%. That's mushrooms by a landslide. And I think a lot of people look at it and they go, oh, dude, mushrooms, psychedelic. But there's like 14,000 species of mushrooms, and there's 15 species that have psychedelic effects. So.
I must admit, I think mushroom soup is my favorite soup.
It's like a good soup, depending on how it's done. I really like Thai soup that's got mushrooms in it.
No, I like
cream of mushroom. Marty, Kev, Tim Kelly, these folks have all been playing Framed with me. Antonio's been playing Framed. I got today's Framed after like 2 guesses. I was pretty proud of myself.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Movie, so. Yeah, Tainted Brain, of course, and Christian Barclay sharing cool stuff. So yeah, thanks everybody. And,
yeah, thank you.
Thanks everyone listening. Triton, Fraser in the chat, and Ian Williams, Soul Brother #1, and SLH, of course, I mentioned. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I'm going to shout out SLH as well because she's been listening, give me some support on the mixes, you know, unlike you fucking Duke. I tell you, you say you're going to listen and you never do. You know, it's even passive. It's not like you have to concentrate.
To go to it when I'm playing Rocket League.
So yeah, so she's been giving some support. I did a new mix last week, which was a chilled out Cafe Del Mar type mix.
Yeah.
A little bit of drum and bass.
Is that the west or the eastern side of the island?
Well, as you know,
there was a big argument about this last week.
It's the west of the island because it's where the sun sets, not rises. So,
right.
There you
I don't actually care. Go on.
It's on the Western Strip. Anyway,
right.
I don't know this because I've never been. So, you know. But yeah, so I did a bit of an inspired mix. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Give it a check it out. Do you know what's quite cool about this mix in particular?
What's that?
Is that it's only had 20 listens, but it's on over 1,000 minutes listened to by 20 listeners.
Oh, those people have been listening to it a lot.
So they listen to the whole of it, which is pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. So I'm quite impressed. And I'm closing in, people. I'm closing in on the 100,000 minutes listened to my mixes.
Yeah.
So I've only got another 2,500 minutes to go. So in the next few weeks, that should be over. I should be over 100,000 minutes listened, which is pretty impressive.
Come on, people.
Pretty impressive. So people like Duke could help out with that. You know what I mean? Chinny.
I get the sense like he wants me to listen to the mix.
Yeah, Chinny could even help out with that.
I like how he gives you shit for not listening. No, I don't listen at all.
You never listen. You've never listened.
Because he knows that there's a chance that I'll give in. He doesn't have any hope that you'll...
Yeah, I have no hope.
No hope.
You like terrible music, so you're not going to like anything on there.
What's terrible about the music I like?
I'm just saying. Anyway, that being said, that's it for me. So over to you, Chinny.
I'll shout out Gary for emailing in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, I will also say, agradecemos sua carta.
Oh, God.
Gary Walker-Jones.
A little more Portuguese.
GWJ.
GWJ.
Shout out to you, Stu, for turning
thank you.
Fiddy.
Fiddy, I know. Fiddy in 2 days. I'm 50 years old.
How old do you feel?
Inside, if I was going to go off internally, I'd probably go for, I don't know, 27.
27.
I'm going 27.
You feel 27?
Maybe slightly younger, to be fair.
Well, that's good.
The very happiest of all birthdays.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emily. Happy birthday to you.
So yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Have a good one. And you don't know what's happening, do you? You have no idea?
I have no idea. I'm off on Tuesday, and Kay is taking the day off, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, that'd be nice.
Who knows?
We're all coming down to see you again.
Well, that would be cool. That would be weird.
Duke's coming down. We're all
Can you
coming down
imagine?
again. It's 2018 again. Yeah.
No.
4 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, if you turned up at my house, I tell you, that'd be a shocker.
That'd be a bad birthday, wouldn't it? That'd be
Yeah,
like,
would it be terrible?
No.
I'd be like, oh, not again.
Oh no.
Please, God, no. There is
Sorry,
no
Stu,
party,
but
by the way.
I'm not coming that day.
No, I know you're not. Thank God.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday. That's my shout outs. Gary
There you go.
And yourself, Stu.
Well, thank you very much. I'll have a good one, I'm guessing. That being said, we're done, I suppose. So it's time for some, I don't know, music, something or other. I don't know, outro.
Okay.
Something.
I mean, I guess like some kind of music. I got this.
Turn down for what?
You're way off base.
What about this?
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good song. How about this?
Outro song.
It's been a minute.
The end of the show. You fucking pricks. Turn the podcast off. Oh, wait, you don't need to do that because it'll turn off when it ends. Why don't you listen to another podcast, you ungrateful fuck? God, I hate this one so much. That's the one I hate so much. That one.
But it's you!
I hate that.
Why do you hate your own voice?
Your attention,
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. We're done.
We're done.
The recording has been stopped. So
Very
anything we
good.
say now is not going to be on the recording.
Oh no.
Fuck, shit, piss.
Poop.
Yeah. Bollocks.
Bollocks, 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 bollocks.
Bollocks, bollocks, big fat bollocks. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Are you glad you stuck around, live streamers?
Tired.
Yeah, they're so glad to be part of that.
Have you ever put
This
a
is
finger
unique.
up
This
a
is-
sheep's
this is
bottom?
Elite.
Wowzers.
You won't. Nobody else gets to hear this golden
Golden.
Yeah. All right. So there's the thing. Oh wait, we're still on YouTube. I don't want to get struck for this. Never mind.
Oh God, wow.
There's
what
some
are you-
rapper that did a song about crypto. I want to hear how bad
play
it is.
it, play it. I can mute you.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll play it. Upon a time, if you had a group of people, they'd be like, "Okay, look, I'm gonna handle the business. You'll be the one who beats people up, who messes with us. You'll be the person who has a car earlier than anyone else, like, and you'll be the guy who raps because you got the way with the words, man." Now it's like, whatever. Like, I can rhyme business with tricky. Like, it doesn't matter if words rhyme or not. Anybody can be the one who raps.
Yeah.
And apparently they've got like
tricky. Doesn't matter.
You know, look, there have always been some people whose rhymes are, you know, as they say in the world of legit poetry, slant rhyme or half rhyme. You know, Dead Prez often had, you know, like Trigo, and with, you know, Popo. Okay, so trigger doesn't really rhyme, and they put an O on the end of it to, like, you know, make it rhyme. But this is just ridiculous. It's not even close. Info and crypto, like, no, it doesn't work. All right, end of complaining about new rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not all new rap. There's some really awesome rappers today. And Kendrick's come out with an album in like a week. So I'm looking forward to that. He's not Kendrick anymore now. He's got some new name.
Has he?
Yeah.
What's he called now?
Here, wait, I'll find it in a second. Mr. Morale.
It's just
his final TDE album. I didn't realize that. Oklama is his name that he signed it with. So we'll see. That's going to be the name of his new album, I think. K Llama.
It's just marketing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, it probably is just marketing. When Mos Def changed his name to Yasin Bey, that was like kind of a spiritual thing. So
what about when Snoop Dogg changed it to Snoop Lion?
That was supposed to be a spiritual thing, but it was mostly just I was really, really high, and they told me to do it, so I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Puff Daddy to P Diddy, like, ugh, who cares? All right, I'm gonna edit this show up and post it on the web.
Cool.
So y'all can put it out on the stream. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great week, guys. Happy birthday, Stu, and
Thank you.
Peace out.
See you later, dude.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bizzle. Right, Chinny, I will leave you to it. Have a nice evening.
Cool.
And I will speak to you next week at some point.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Speak to you soon.
See you in a
bit.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.